Yeah, move the microphone a little bit to the right, Phil, and then I can get in.
Sure.
Do you need to be too close to
Yeah,
it?
I will be.
No,
But let Phil talk, do the intro.
I think you need to change where this screen is because you're going to...
They look like they're going to get started, but they should wait.
Yeah.
So, do you mind if
Yeah,
I
just
running
okay.
Matt,
It's
do you mind
okay.
if I just make a little change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because this needs to be more here, so...
No, Mate needs to be able to see the board.
This
I want.
Yeah, but we need the chair so that Chris is
Okay.
right.
It's all right, I'm going to
Come
get
this way a
there.
little bit.
Go a
Just
bit to the
little
right, Phil, and then
Yeah,
move
yeah.
the microphone a bit.
Yeah,
Right,
that's it.
good.
Okay, before we start, hands in, come on, hands in. Hands in, all of it.
What?
Hands in, hands in. Ready?
Famous
One,
Team
two,
Mate.
Hey,
Team Mate.
I've even turned my mobile to silent.
Yeah, everyone, mobiles on silent, please. Mobiles on silent.
Good idea. I think it all very good.
The chance of my wife calling me is so low.
This early?
We are live. We are live.
Okay.
Let's see if we have anybody watching yet.
No, don't touch this.
Okay.
Sorry, please, thank you. I can tell you here,
All right.
2 people. This.
This will be streamed later on YouTube, is that
Okay,
correct?
fuck.
Yeah?
Snag.
Hmm?
You can start talking.
They just shook hands, so.
No,
the game is started.
they were shaking hands with the referees.
We are live.
We're live. Okay. I think we're a little early for watchers as yet because we're just getting started here in Cyprus. But I'm going to set the stage. My name is Phil Simborg, and I'm here with Chris Bray. And we're going to start out doing the commentary. We've got a team of some other experts who will be joining us. And for the record, we are in the finals of the 2018 Merit Open in Cyprus. And we have two very fine French players in the finals. We have Aurelien Bonnet, who is going to be at the bottom of your screen, and he's undefeated. He went through the entire bracket of 352 players without losing a match. And Franck Stepler, also from France, came through the ranks after losing a match and won the rest of his matches to compete in the finals. And the way this works is Franck is going to have to win twice in order to win the championship. And Aurelien is going to have to win once. As we saw last year, Lars Trebolt came through the losers bracket or fighters bracket to meet Carter Madig, and Carter took care of him in one round and is the reigning for a few more minutes international world champion, and we'll have another reigning champion soon. It's very exciting that the French are in the finals here. The French also, a French team won the doubles. The French won the World Cup in July in doubles, and the French are really kicking it here in the backgammon world this year. And it's not a surprise. They have many, many fine players, but it's just great to see. A little background. Franck has been playing for many years. He runs tournaments every week in Paris. He's a real great speed gammon player. He's very excited. He won his first speed gammon championship, I believe, in Copenhagen against Carter again, about 7-8 years ago. And it's always exciting when Carter loses for me. It was really a great match, and that made him very excited, and he went on to start competing much more. He played 2 years ago here and made it into the semis and lost. He didn't play last year, so he's got quite a good record at this tournament. Aurelien is a computer scientist. He's been playing backgammon about 10 years and plays amazingly well for the length of time and the amount of matches he's played. And he gives a lot of credit to his teacher, Sebastian Wilkinson, who has been helping him in recent months. And one of the reasons he feels he's done so well is because of Sebastian. So I think that speaks very highly of Sebastian and taking lessons, which I'm sort of in favor of people taking lessons, as you might guess. Chris, anything to add at this point?
Oh, we're good. We're ready to go.
Okay, let me just give you very quickly the rules of the game. We all know how to play backgammon. The rules here are legal moves. Dice on the checkers do not count. It is clocked. In any clock match, if you clock out, if you lose your time, you lose the match. They'll play a 17-point match. And again, if Frank wins, they'll play another 17-point match for the... No?
9-point match.
Nine-point match. It'll be the second match for the finals. So as soon as the players are ready, we'll get started. And Chris is going to do the majority of the commentary to begin with. I'll add my comments along the way. And again, we'll introduce some other commentators as we go. And I want to thank Mete Ferrar from Hungary, who is doing all of the technical work on the streaming and doing a fantastic job. You're going to get to see Extreme Gammon on the side of your panel, and you'll get an idea of how they're playing and even some of the moves and how the moves are working and whether or not they're making errors or not. And let's not be too critical if they make errors. I watched a lot of people, including Mochi and Michi, make plenty of errors this tournament. In every tournament, it's going to happen. But we're ready to go, and Chris, take it away.
Okay, thanks, guys. These two guys know each other, so they should know each other's games. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this. Yesterday, Frank used a lot of backgammon psychology to come through the fighters bracket. He gave a crucial redouble at 8-all to 11 when he knew his opponent would drop. It wasn't even a redouble, but he knew his opponent would drop. So backgammon is not just about the technical expertise and extreme gammon. Yes, it helps, but you're still playing a human being. So let's see how we go. Nothing much has happened so far. 5-4 for Frank. This looks like he's just going to run away. Okay. We'll try to add as we go through. We realise that people watching are of all different levels, so we'll try to have the commentary balanced throughout and provide a little bit of instruction as we go if we have time. They've started at a fairly swift pace.
I like the fact that Frank split his back checkers very, very quickly. Michi gave a lecture just a week ago in Bristol about how people are failing to do that enough, and he did it very, very quickly, and as a result he was able to escape a checker.
So this is a classic one checker back versus two checker back scenario. Aurelien will try to attack the lone blot, and Frank will try to prime the checkers on the other side of the board. Of course, this is backgammon, so you have to play according to the dice. You need to be flexible, you need to think about your game plan. So just making moves doesn't win you backgammon matches. You can play backgammon very quickly, you can play good backgammon quickly, you can't play very good backgammon very quickly. So at the right time, they need to think. Okay? So,
well, they have 34 minutes on the clock total, but they get 12-second delay every time. That's plenty of time to give a lot of thought to critical moves.
okay, so here's the first probably interesting play of the match. There's 6-5 to play. It looks like he's going to make the 3-point. Yeah, and everything else is obviously he risks 5-3, 5-4, double 4. Yeah, but
and it was
this
the
is
right
a poor
play.
entry.
It was the right play according to XG.
Yeah. Okay, so White's board is a little bit disjointed, and he has a lone back checker. So this tidies up everything very nicely. He's going to make the 4-point. And hopefully he'll be able to withstand the attack on the other side of the board.
Well, maybe he's not making the 4-point.
I'm sure making the 4-point is right here. He needs a strong home board to withstand what's going to happen on the other side of the board. Cock dice. 4-2, a perfecto, as we say. So black now has a 5-point prime, but he still has 2 rear checkers of his own.
I would still rather be black than white here.
Yeah.
5-point prime, unless you're at the edge, is pretty strong.
They are talking now about they would want to give a time refreshment when the dice is
Okay. So they're just having a brief discussion. When you cock the dice, some tournaments have different rules, but here they want to stop the clock and start it again. They have 2 minutes per game and 12 seconds per move. So 6-4 is an awkward roll. The 6 is clear and forced.
Is there any possibility black may have a double on the next roll, Chris?
There's definitely a possibility. He has a lot of market losing rolls, but if he doesn't hit the 6, then what?
This is a bad play. This 6-4 is a bad play.
I'm not.
What does XG say about that 6-4?
What do we want?
It
Yeah,
likes it.
6-4 is correct because basically he needs to put.
No, 6-4 is
What's that?
that's a massive error.
It's 13-3.
Yes, that would be all the way.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
massive error to
yeah.
do what he just did.
What you're hearing in the background is Carter, who wishes he was there on the board rather than here, but his expertise is more than welcome here.
So he's okay, and he's going to be punished for making an incorrect play. So with 2 loose blots now on one side of the board and a checker behind a 5-point prime on the other, he's taken.
He took it, and he didn't think that long about it either.
And 4-3 is not a good roll. So
Well, almost all prime versus primes are takes. This may well have been a take. Was it, Mete?
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
a take. Good play. Good
So
play by
now
both.
he either has the tempo play of hitting on the ace point and playing 13-10, duplicating aces, so he can still attack the block. If he doesn't play that, then you have the potential for Frank to make his bar point 5-point, 9-point. So
maybe the run out here because he
Yeah.
duplicates the aces. He doesn't want him to step up with the 2 free.
this is using the old backgammon motto: when in doubt, hit. Is that right?
When in doubt, give it a clout.
And fans. So now he has the opportunity to pick up 2 more blots. He's picked up one of them, so the 6 is very clear. 5, he can now be pleasantly aggressive, probably come in and provide a cover number, or he can play 13-8, which also gives you a lot of cover numbers and the potential to make the 8-point as well.
What about slotting the back? Is that wrong?
Yeah, I would have played 13-8. What's the right play? 24,
Yeah, slot the back.
yeah.
He bends again, yeah?
Yeah.
No, he comes back with
He
one.
came in with the 2 X.
Okay, 6-5 looks like he's going to make the ace point and hit loose, I would think. Two on the bar, better by far.
Yeah, this is called a blitz, and
Hmm.
if he can close his board and close them out, he has a tremendous chance to win a gammon or a double game, which would give him a huge edge in the match.
So he needs 3s, 11s. 3 is good.
And a 6 is
Out
great.
with a 6. Pick
Great.
up the 3rd checker. Take 4 points. Have a break.
This is so different from yesterday where Frank would just had all the dice and Travi got crushed. He was, Frank didn't even let Lars Trabolt score a point. That was the finalist last year.
Talk louder if you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, you have to. Okay, so he would ideally like to pick up the. Oh, he's not going to pick up the. Still
may.
could. Sorry, this is
Sorry.
forced.
Yeah.
Double
what about
6.
a double 3 or something here? that
Double 3
Frank's-
cracks the board. Oh, 3-2.
Yeah.
But now the 3 checkers up.
The gammon chances here are in the 60 to 70 percentile range. It's very, very high.
I think with the 2 outside checkers, it's
Maybe even
probably
higher.
even more.
Maybe even more, yeah. Very high chance. He almost is assured a gammon unless he leaves a shot and gets hit. So all he's thinking about now is, how do I not leave a shot? And maybe later on, if he gets a bunch of checkers off and white is still on the bar, then you might think about backgammons.
Do you think about clearing the 6 point here?
Yeah, I would
I
think
think so.
it's definitely a possibility. If you clear the 6 point, there are virtually no bad numbers on the following roll. If he plays 13-7, then 6-5, 6-4, double 6, double 5, double 4, all leave shots. So he's looking
There
at
it
this.
is.
Double 4 doesn't,
There it is.
but yeah, this seems important.
Okay,
Good
so
play.
we could get a freak double 6, but other than that, I think this is correct. Oh, there's one in. Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, it's not enough to save
4-1.
Gambit right now.
4 and just needs to be a little bit careful. Yep, 6-5 will still leave a shot next time. Everything else is okay.
All the doubles play now.
Yeah, another one in. The only problem with the 2-4 is he's let Frank get in. Oh, 6-5 leaves the shot. Already some excitement.
That's about it. What else leaves the shot?
This is what backgammon unfortunately is all about sometimes. So any 5 now, we have an interesting game. I miss 6-2.
That's big.
But the only point about, so he's already got all 3 checkers in, and Aurelien's only got now 3 checkers off, so he has a much better chance of saving the gammon. So now Franck needs to take crossovers to optimise his chance of getting off the gammon. So crossover is moving a checker from one quadrant to the next. Double one. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Right. So white needs 12 crossovers and black needs 9 crossovers to save to win the game. So white is a huge not
Huge
favourite,
dog.
huge dog. That was the word. Thank you, Carter.
No problem.
So his chance of he still needs 6, 7, 8 crossovers. 6, 3, 6. Yeah. So he needs at least one big set and maybe 2 to save the gammon. And so far he's rolled sort of back-to-back 3 1s and 2 1s. So double 3. So you can bring one checker all the way home. You need to take crossovers as much as possible here, so that's 1 crossover. Optimally, you can play 12 to 6 for the other one.
Yep.
Wastes no pips. It's the easier way not to have to think too hard. 6 3.
Double fives may save it.
Now he needs another set, or this game is a gammon. That is a gammon. So you can't save it.
Yep.
So 4-0. We're up already.
A tough way to start.
Yeah. So
being
Frank got
behind,
punished for his 6-4 play there.
which was a blunder, and
yeah.
with the right
Yeah.
play, I'm not sure there's even a double.
Okay. So Aurelien played that match with a PR of 0.11
Oh my gosh.
for that game. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So while we were floundering around talking about the best move, he just made them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Aurelien did play very well yesterday as well. His PR was very good. He had a couple of blunders, but overall he outplayed his opponent quite a bit.
So 6-4. 6-4 is one of the few opening rolls where you get a choice. So I think in match play, early game, this is the correct play. It creates complexity and puts the checkers where you want them. And this is the correct response with the 4-3.
Yeah. Especially when you're behind, I like that 6-4. When I'm behind, I like to make the 2 point and go for more gammons. But he's ahead, so the 6-4 makes more sense not to play games for more gammons and to play more of a racing game.
Okay. So 6-3, really 2 choices. So it looks like he's going to take the advanced anchor and just pick up the checker. Gives him a small advantage. He could
What
have
about
made the 3 point.
What about you making that 9 point
Yeah.
from the 6?
Yeah. I think making the
What-
9 point would have
making
been
the 9
right.
point?
9
Yeah.
point right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't look too
Yeah.
long at that.
One problem with this play is the stack on his 6 point.
Yeah.
You don't want to. The more checkers you put on 1 point, the less flexibility you have, and it gives you just a less robust game to play later.
Now that here, 8-2, 6-3. He could play his 6-3 safely, but given his opponent has no board, you need to develop the checkers. Again, I'll go back to yesterday. This is a game of war. Your soldiers need to be on the field of battle. I suspect that he will play 13-7 and then 6-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to unstack that 6 point.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a mutual high anchor game basically. So technically it's not that difficult to play. And
Yep.
yeah, so he's taking the hit. So white is ahead in the race. Black is on the bar. White will be a long way from a double yet. 2-1. Okay.
One
So you can
and
come
hit.
in on the ace and hit.
Yep.
So this is a Mishi double tiger play.
You
Oh,
could
no,
hit-
no,
you
no.
could
It's
hit
not a
two
double
places.
tiger.
Out there.
You could hit in 2 places.
I wouldn't break the bar.
You wouldn't break the bar. I might not have hit at all. I would have thought about coming.
Well, the
coming
5,
down.
yeah,
It's a
we
tough
haven't
one.
had time to discuss it, but the
Yeah.
5-3 might not even been right to hit
Uh-huh.
because he's given up his anchor for an attack when he has no home board.
Yeah, very
Typically-
too.
He hit.
Okay, and he came back with
4-5.
4-5. No, before he came back with 4-5.
What did he roll the first time?
You gotta watch more carefully.
3. Yeah. Okay, so even with 2 checkers on the bar, black is in no immediate danger. White is still to develop his position. And pointing in his home board would be useful. That does that. Makes the 3 point. Can't see anything better. Again, make the soldiers work. Okay, so now he's got a choice of anchors. Now, given he's behind in the race, so he could make the 20-point anchor, but the 20-point does not work well with the bar point. So given that he is a long way behind in the race, I think, or is he? No, it's not that far actually.
No, that's,
Oh, okay, sorry.
we've lost XG.
Yeah.
We've lost
Yeah.
XG for this
Okay,
game.
but this looks like the right play.
Okay.
So he keeps the rearmost checker on the 24 point to be annoying. And white is strengthening his position. Black needs to get his checkers in play. That's a good roll. 3-1 making the 5 point. So
Stops the cube. too.
yeah, the cube's not coming for a while, I think.
I don't know. Frank isn't looking
Yeah,
to
he's
play perfect XG. He
No.
wants to play aggressive.
yeah.
That's his style. So
So 2-1. Wow. Okay, so he can move the back. What's the do we know what the race is?
No.
at the moment? No. Okay.
You cannot use this for this game.
Okay,
Only the
all right,
next one.
okay. So hitting loose looks wrong just because he only has one cover number. He has 5 checkers on his opponent's side of the board. So he has to play this slowly.
white's still significantly up.
Yeah, 2 and 5. This looks right. In on the 23 point, puts the extra checker on the 8 point. So again, black does not have too many checkers in the attack zone here.
I think
If
you
he,
get the one checker out and then slides it to the left.
yeah.
This is simple.
Yeah, he could hit 2, but again, he hasn't got the ammunition to carry out a blitz attack, so he needs to get his checkers working. 4-1 for, right, does he really want that point? 23-22, so he,
That would have to be down.
ooh, I think a bit longer about this one. Oh no, he's killed the checker. We don't like that.
That's the problem. Is
Yeah.
that these two.
So, what about coming up to the
Out
to the bar?
Out to the bar was my play.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think he's way ahead in the race and he wants to race. I'm not sure he wants to hold the 3-point anchor.
I like out to the bar because the black's midpoint is stripped. He's
Yeah.
only got 2 checkers there.
So now, okay, so black doesn't obviously have an attack at this point. I think he just has to move the spare checker off the 18 point and move it closer to home. There are a couple of safe plays, but they both look very ugly.
Sliding the 3 doesn't.
Sliding the 4. I
Slide-
actually
Yeah.
kind of like
Four.
sliding the 4 because he's got the spare on the 13. He's not. You're not making him
Mm.
break his mid. So I kind of like sliding the 4 here, especially with the
With the
checker
blot
at
in board?
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've lost XG for this game, so you've only got the commentators' views for the time being. So 6-3.
Oh, so we can say anything and be right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
6-3 is a great roll. It
It's a
hits
great
and
roll,
covers.
Yeah.
And covers.
Yeah. He's still away from a double, I think. 2-6 is poor. Now he's going to think. He is trailing 4-0. He could give an aggressive cue, but I don't see that many market losing rolls. So now he needs to get the back checkers going. So I think the correct play will be 10-8 and split the back checkers.
That's not.
This does not look the right play. The tactic is you've got to get the back checkers going while your opponent's on the bar.
Now you give a really good 6. Ooh, but this.
Yeah, this 5 is ugly. Yeah. Now he's lost. He's going to lose control of the
Outfield. Here.
outfield. Yeah. So 3-3, and now we
As good as
see
it
now we
looks.
see why he should have split the back checkers on the next roll. But the backgammon gods sometimes give you your comeuppance very quickly, and they've managed it on this occasion. So
Look
this
at
this is going to be ugly. But his checkers are all still in play, but now they're in the wrong places, and his 2 rear checkers are stranded.
Just run the back checker.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So again, black needs to keep all his checkers in play. So despite the risk, he has to come out with that checker that's currently sitting on the 21 point. There is no other play.
Yeah, the ace isn't.
Aces would be
He
very
wants to
good for Frank because that would give him time. So 1 is good, the 3 again, his 3s are getting ugly. So it's pretty much forced. Fans, now if Frank can roll a 4 or 6, his position begins to improve markedly. 1-1.
That's not bad to come
No,
up.
you can
That'll
come up
help
with
him get
2.
out. Yep.
And move the other
But
2 checkers.
this is. getting a little.
But he's got now
better.
3 numbers to
Right.
escape rather than 2,
Yeah,
so
Right. The two
Uh,
the two up had to be right.
yeah, 1-6.
Good roll.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if he
good
wants
roll.
to come out,
Holds his position.
leaving that checker on the 24 point would just be an invitation to attack. 6-2.
6 is
So
out.
now he's going to have to come out.
Where's the 2
Now
there?
where is the 2?
It'll be 5 to 3.
No, it goes.
There's a black checker on the midpoint. Don't forget.
You can't break this one.
You can't
there's
do
a
this.
Yeah.
There's a black checker here. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Microphone just disappeared briefly there. Okay. So
I play
this
5 to
is
3. I hate to throw away a checker, but
4. If he creeps to the midpoint, it's 6s and 1s and 4s, and if he doesn't creep,
This is survivable.
yeah,
He still
yeah,
only
yeah.
has a 2-point board.
Oh,
This
double
is
1.
no longer survivable.
So this looks like it hits 2 and makes the bar. Snap assessment.
Yep.
When you play backgammon for 40 years, which sadly I've done, you see plays very quickly. They may not be correct.
when
And
you
beginners
play,
often wonder why you're able to move so quickly. It's just experience and an understanding of the model of the game.
and when you play for 60 years, as I have, you start getting slow again.
All right.
Ah.
Frank needs.
Oh,
5s and
4-3.
6s out.
Ooh.
That's good.
3 is 3.
Okay. It's the 4 that's horrible.
Is he going to kill the 4?
Does black have a cube
I
here?
think. No, black does not have a cube.
I'm starting to think about a cube if I'm black.
That's why I play cash games with you, Phil.
Uh-huh.
This also looks wrong.
I want to activate gammons. Oh, wait a minute. You don't
So he
have
has
the
2
Jacobi rule.
He will have 2 objectives. Ultimately, he will need to clean the 9 point. But why is he slotting the ace point? Wow. Okay, fans again.
He needs.
Now it's interesting.
Is he looking?
He's looking at a
double?
cube, but double 4, anything without a 5 or a 6 in, and he needs his 5 to cover and the 5 to come out. So I can't believe that this is anywhere near a double.
But we've seen this before. from
Yeah, yeah.
Frank, feeling he can roll his way out of these.
Oh, double 6.
Why didn't
wow.
he double? How easy? How easy this is.
Okay. 3. I don't think he needs the excitement of leaving that blot there. He's already got 5s, 1s, and 8s to cover.
Look, he has no 2s.
And his
now.
opponent may come in a 4.
He doesn't need to cover. If he doesn't get hit, he can double them out.
Double
probably.
2.
Now it's a double out,
Now.
isn't it?
Is it a double out? Maybe it's too good. You've got 5s,
Well,
1s,
it
and 8s
certainly is.
covered.
It certainly is not a take.
So the most common match play error that you see if you attend tournaments is players doubling when they're too good to double, meaning that they should play on for the gammon because they use their money mentality to make decisions in match play backgammon. And that really is the most common error that I see when I play in tournaments. So Frank has to decide, is this a double? Well, he's done that bit.
This will be a pass.
This will be a pass. Black loses too many gammons here for this to be
If it's too
anywhere
good,
remote to it.
yeah, if it's too good, I don't think it's that terribly too good. I would be very tempted to double here, and I love to play on when it's too good, but
One of the things that XG has taught us is there are lots of positions where human beings cash, but the computer sees further and plays on. So here, that's a drop, so the score is now 4-1.
and winning an undoubled gammon is just not that exciting at 0 or winning 1 or 2 at 0. You like to get that point on the board too. I'm going to take a little break. This is Phil, and I'll come back later. I'm going to bring in a good friend, and who's coming in? Mick?
Which good friend?
Which good friend?
Mick Larsen
Wait a minute,
from Denmark.
I don't have any good friends, but Mick Larsen's coming in from Denmark. He's going to join Chris for a while, and we'll have Eric McAlpine
McAlpine.
join us a little later too.
Okay, so next
Mick,
game.
roll.
Thanks a lot.
Hi Mick, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Double 1, so early good development for both players here. White with a slight edge, ooh, 4-2. Okay, so normally you would hope to be able to move the back checkers, but here, so he's got a choice of making the 4 point or coming up with the back checker and hitting, or coming up with the back checker and dropping the checker 13 to 9.
Yeah, I kind of like actually playing one down
from,
Yeah, I like this.
and then
I
splitting.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think giving the 6 and 7 shot when your opponent has a 4-point prime is too risky. 4-1.
I think you just
Uh,
play quiet.
I don't you do anything
Yeah,
here. You
I
play
think you need to
13
play
to 8.
down.
You don't bring the rear checkers in range of black's attack. Yeah. Sometimes you have to be passive in backgammon. 6 and 2 makes the bar. Everything else looks a little bit loose.
I like Frank's way of playing today compared to yesterday. He seems a little more
Thoughtful. He's
thoughtful.
actually
Yeah.
looking.
He's playing
I think.
slower, and he seems like he's very focused. So
Yeah.
it looks good.
But I don't know. Maybe he, you know, getting that rhythm, feeling like you never miss, you never hit. That's important in
Yeah.
these matches. This is a 17-point match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's a forced rhythm that he doesn't really like. So, but
He
yeah.
wanted to play in the crowd. He wanted everyone around. He wanted the cheering because he wants that. He doesn't play. He knows he's not going to out XG Aurelien because Aurelien studies more than Frank does. So he wants to get those luck factors to swing, the crowd on his side. That's important in these matches.
Okay,
Look.
so 3-2
anchor.
with a hit and makes the point. So now black with an advantage. Both players have a 4 prime, but white has 3 checkers behind blacks. Double 1. So that's a good roll. He's going to make the 3-point and think about the 4th one. It may be right to come up 24-23, but
That was
he
all-
played.
that was-
what's-
no,
oh, that
no,
was
no,
it.
no,
That
no.
was the whole thing. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So 6-2.
I guess you just have to play to 5.
I think you played to
think
5. It's
so.
too early to give up the anchor.
Yeah.
That's another very common fault that you see in intermediate and beginner games. The anchor is given up far too early. Again, another teaching from XG over the years is you give up the anchor much later than you think you should.
But
Here
stripping
he
off
would-
is so hard when you strip off the midpoint.
Yeah.
You also get into trouble. 6s do not grow on trees, so
Yeah,
maybe
it could be closer than I think.
Yeah,
or we
but they're
think.
kind of in the same situation. I think
Yeah.
Aurelien,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
hard for me to pronounce.
So-
He's in the same situation as Frank. They
Yeah.
both need to leave their 13 point very soon,
Right.
most likely, if they don't escape the backman.
So for any French listeners, we apologise for our inability to master Aurelien's name. Okay, the black structure is a little bit ugly here. What does our little friend say?
coming out.
Yes, coming out is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you look at black structure, those 3 checkers on the 6-point and 5-point, they have very few useful destinations to go to.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
only want them to make the
Yeah.
4-point. You don't want
Yeah.
points behind. You need
Yeah, yeah.
points in front.
Now 5-1. Now I actually think he's going to have to come out.
Well, at least you
Despite
do
the additional
4s
risk.
and things like
Yeah.
that.
So I think he should play 22-16 here. Everything else is horrible.
Yeah, I
It's
like
the same.
coming out. Right,
It
same
looks like the
concept.
same. Yeah.
Same problem,
Yeah.
but white has slightly better outfield coverage, but the theory remains the same. Black has reached a point where all his checkers on his own side of the board and the midpoint are actively employed in doing something useful. The ones on the other side, he's probably ahead. Yeah, he's 12 pips ahead in the race. Is that before or after?
Before.
So he's 18 pips up after the roll. So fundamental theorem backgammon, went ahead in the race. Here he goes. There you go. Okay, so now white could get lucky with an attack. Double 4 would be really a good roll. Oh, double 4!
Double 4 would be really a good roll.
That's the
right,
second time
Chris.
I've called it in
Well
2
done.
days. Oh, hang on.
And
Whoa.
you got a last
Yeah,
one.
he's hitting 2, looks right.
Right.
Then you bring the other one down for,
Counterplay.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
bring more wood, as Mr. McGreal used to
Right.
say.
And now we
Yeah.
will probably see
This-
a cube coming
This
soon.
will either be a cube or a play on. The play on is going to be risky with those 2 rear checkers. 5-1. Yeah, I think he's going to double this. He's trailing in the race. If he makes the 4-point or the 1-point, he's still got time to spring the back
Yeah.
checkers. So here comes the cube. Now, Aurelien needs time to think about this. You need to decide how you're going to win from here. You also need to think about how the percentage of gammons that you're going to lose. So as the percentage of gammons goes up, your tendency to pass will obviously increase. So black still has a reasonable defensive position on his own side of the board.
But he doesn't have the time, I don't think, to hold this. If black doesn't, if
Yeah.
white either makes the bar or gets one out or makes the 4-point,
It's not
Yeah.
it's not easy. I think. I mean, it's not easy to escape those two white checkers
Right.
from for Frank. So
I think
so
he has enough to
tend
take.
I tend to have to
Yeah.
take it as well.
Yeah, that's probably a take.
And the fact that he came
It's-
in on the ace
yeah,
point
yeah.
doesn't mean that he get attacked
Yeah.
easily.
Right.
So this is a combination of a blitz and a prime versus prime. So the white's position could develop either way. Black's basically playing an anchor plus a prime game. But the other rule of backgammon is all prime versus prime's a take. So you start with that premise and then add in the complications. And this is a complicated position. He should take 2-3 minutes to think about this. It's not easy. And he's dropped. So let's have a
How
look
big is
and
that?
see where do we get there. Sadly, that was a very easy take according to our silicon friend XG. So that's one of those things. It looks worse than it is.
Ooh, that dinged
Yeah,
him
that
pretty
was a
high.
big- yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game by Frank.
Yes.
No
yeah,
mistakes
no
at
mistakes.
all.
And unfortunately, if Aurelien had come out with the 6, whatever it was, to the previous roll, he'd then have made the 16 point because he wouldn't have been in.
Right.
So, of all the words of man, the saddest are it might have been.
Nice.
Okay, so standard opening, standard reply. So 5-4, down and up.
And split.
You don't hit here. Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
Frank wants to put.
I
He
would
wants to get
go-
aggressive.
I think you come up, but it's not unreasonable. Now he's going to get hit.
All right.
Uh,
Now he wants high anchor.
so
Or another
5-2. Yeah,
four.
the 5-4 was an error. Just looking
Oh,
at. Oh,
except
he's
he
got.
lured him with this, so he could use his double fours by coming in,
Yeah.
hitting,
And making a point.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
actually you could consider making the 5 point on the other side.
you could, but
It looks strong, right?
it's like American football. Either play offense or defense, but don't often mix the two.
Okay, now we
Okay.
cubes.
And now look.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a cube. Yeah, good cube. Okay, so he has lots of threats.
Mhm.
Right now, this time Aurelien has no anchor to rely on. He has no board. He's behind in the race. So race threat position. It's no race. He's probably ahead in the race, but he has one developed checker.
Right. But
Yeah,
he's a three.
but Frank has 3 checkers to
Right,
bring
3
around
checkers
still.
back.
But
Yeah,
yes,
3 checkers
this
back,
is
but he
a
has
threat.
7s, 10s. Yeah, 7s, 10s, double 3. Lots of rolls that obviously lose his market. So it's a highly volatile position. So it's precisely the right moment to double. If he doesn't anchor in the next roll or two, he's going to get gammons. There's a high percentage of gammons in this position, so he drops, which is a no surprise. And that was correct. Yeah. Okay, so Aurelien he rushed off to a 4-3 lead. Frank's pulled it back to 4-3. Reminder, we're playing to 17 points. So no one with a huge advantage as yet. These guys keep opening with really good rolls. Have you
Right,
noticed
it's
that?
nice to make
One
the
of the ways
5
you
point
do well in
instantly.
tournaments is to consistently roll 3-1 very early. So the correct response here is down and up. So as soon as your opponent's made his 5 point, you need to split to the edge of his little mini prime. So here he comes. Okay, so he'll hit with any 2 or 9. He'll think about it with 4. There's a 9, 6-3, so he's going to hit. Okay, he needs a 4, but ideally 5-1. That's a little bit ugly. You see now the advantage of the early hit here. Again, beginners, intermediates hit far less than they should because they're frightened of being hit back. But you need to look at the other side of the coin. You get an advantage, a huge advantage from hitting. So here, there's nothing much to do. The 6 is clear.
I think the 5 is clear too. You don't want to get.
I think you run to the midpoint here because it gives counterplay. It gives white good 6s, which he doesn't have anywhere else. So he's now ahead in the race. Briefly,
And that would have been a double. That would have been a double hit if he stayed.
yeah.
I think you bring it up
Yeah.
to 22 as well.
Yeah, I think he should come up to 22. He's now stripped the midpoint, and again, another little simple thing. If you strip the midpoint early on, it's surprising how often it goes wrong. So here now, he's going to have difficulty. He can't continue the attack. He hasn't got enough checkers. He should take the anchor in his opponent's board. by
And
making the 21 point.
It could also turn into being a liability to bring down the checker because you have more bloods, and if he
Yeah.
gets in and hits
Yeah.
on the 4 point.
Now he has to tidy everything up. Now he can make the. Sorry, he
Well,
hasn't
he can
rolled.
make the bar
Yeah, that's
5.
fine. Yeah, there's
He's
lots
got
of
some
things
good
he can
numbers.
make, but he's still got 4. Oh,
I
well,
mean,
much easier if you.
they didn't get
One.
to this tournament by rolling poorly, so
Yeah. So now
this
you
is
either
the
make the
finals.
bar and come up, or you make the 11 point and slide.
I think
I
this
like
is the
coming.
right play.
This
You,
is up and
and
then
then come up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would
24,
come.
22.
Yeah. He doesn't. Mr. Bonnet, I like to call him that because that's easier for me to pronounce. He doesn't have that many checkers in the zone, so it's not that dangerous to step
Yeah.
up to 22.
So 8 checkers. So when it gets to 10 or 11, and here's another double
Excuse
fold.
me, what?
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
So this
So,
has to be the 2 point.
These
thing
are.
as
This is
well.
why these guys are in the final.
Right.
So do you make the 9 point or the 2 point?
2 point.
I make the 2 point. I like the board because then I can give my opponent a difficult doubling decision if he
I think
fans.
actually I would make the 9 point.
Okay,
Just to
so-
unstack that heavy
The 9 point is
heavy
big.
checker.
Uh,
Yeah, make right. Yeah. No,
That's right.
it's large. Yeah.
yeah.
You will make a dollar.
Where you owe Mick a dollar, he has the right play here. So
I'll
Rather
cash it in
than-
afterwards.
and again, apply backgammon theory here. If you make the 2 point, you put 2 checkers marginally behind the field of action. You have 5 checkers doing nothing on the midpoint, right? So why don't you bring 2 of them into play to join the battle?
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're 6 away, so
And-
if
and
he
yeah.
doesn't anchor, you get to blitz him anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Mm.
So again, you should look at both plays because visually you learn to understand what is the right play quite often by seeing the play. So now he's anchored.
Standard.
Yeah, 3-1.
Yep.
So now we've got a 3 point holding game. All 3 point holding games are takes, very nearly.
Forever and
Yeah,
ever.
6-1.
I think I would play 13-7, 6-5
Yep.
here. I wouldn't
I
be
like
afraid
that.
of getting
No.
hit on that.
I want to make the
7
bar point. I don't. There are a lot of numbers he won't hit with. He won't hit with 4-2, certainly. Yeah, this has got to be right.
Yeah, you have too much wood.
Probably
coming
double
at you.
4 now.
Yes,
Okay.
the easy or double 5, just to
3-1, so a good roll on the other side of the board. So now you have a 4 point. You have a high anchor versus a mid anchor. They're basically waiting to roll a set of doubles here.
Here's one.
Yeah. Thank you, Carter. Carter has spotted that Aurelien has rolled double 1.
Just make the bar.
Yeah, just make the bar point. Let's move on.
Yeah. Is he maybe he's considering making the 8 point and then bringing in the checker to, I don't know, keep a little more
Yes.
pressure on, but
Yeah.
this looks
Maybe.
most natural.
Oh, double 4. What a good play that was, the last one. Okay, so now he's right. Obviously, there's a theme in Cyprus. There are
Right.
more double 4s here than anywhere else in the world.
Double 5s has actually been really dangerous.
Yeah.
Frank has rolled that.
Oh, double 4. So now
Neither
I
of
think
us
he
gonna like
needs
the next
he needs to
double
hold the prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has a broken 5 point prime. One of these guys is going to break their prime and regret it. And if he's thinking of doubling, that would be a huge mistake.
But then he's been rolling double 5s, so this is kind of the theme.
He has
He needs a 5 right now.
Yeah. His anchor is lower than Aurelien's anchor, so this is not a double. 5-3.
Yeah.
Time to run away, particularly when his opponent has 2 blots inboard. So black needs a good number. 5-4. 5-4 is not a good number, and he's going to have to bring 2 in. Making the 6 point and the 2 point and the 1 point would be an interesting and exotic play, but
It
not
mi-
right.
But we
it
saw
might
from-
be right.
We
Yeah.
saw from
But
Mochi's
actually-
quiz,
Yeah.
actually, that makes a 5-point board. I mean, that makes a
The
4-point
4-point
board,
board.
and you still have some play, you know.
Yeah, and you
But I think you have, in this position, you have more play if you come in, because all your 5s next time are going to be very ugly. If you, at least
But-
you have a 5 left.
But I think you know when
Yeah.
you make this play,
Oh, he's
Frank
made it.
may not cube.
Has he made it?
But if
He
you
has
make
made
the
it.
other play,
Right.
Frank is cubing.
Right. So I learnt from my game with Moshi where I doubled him in a position where everybody watching thought it was a
Hitting.
drop.
Hitting
That's
was
correct.
better. No, hitting.
Hitting was the best. This
2
is,
blocks
this
inside.
is, 46,
It's
this
a-
is the best.
it's also it looks
Okay.
awkward. It's hard to
This
play
looks awkward.
for Bonnet. So hitting bringing in 2 from the 7 point was correct.
So now he's doubling. What's the race here?
This is very close.
Yeah.
Close.
So the race is close here. Black has a high anchor. White still has work to do. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a take. It's been taken. So a lot of high anchor games that look very bad actually aren't. So he's escaped the other checker.
And we'll
But he now has a 3-point game, and 4-point game, and you always have chances of a 4-point game because eventually White has to break his outside prime, and you roll a set of doubles, 5s and 6s at the right time, you're well back in the race. What's the race, please, Mate?
After the roll,
It wasn't a double, was it?
4 pips.
4 pips.
it was a double.
It was a
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
It was
It
not a
wasn't,
double.
yeah, so Frank's double was premature, which may surprise some people.
What
Yeah, it's
was
because he
what
has
was
so
the
much
black's
race
roll?
equity
What
in the
was
position.
black's roll?
5-4
5, 6, 5,
or
4,
5-4.
4 and then 5,
2, yeah. Yeah.
How did he play 5?
yes,
He hasn't played it yet.
That's
Oh,
true.
that,
and
yeah,
then,
that's
and then
right.
another
There's
5.
another 5, yeah. Okay.
Again.
Sorry guys, we were just sorting out the
Yeah.
computer present. So here 5, you need to keep the, yeah, okay, so he's got a 4-point board again. And he's diversified the builders for the 5th point. So
Yeah,
he
so
wants
the-
to make his board, and then not roll a 6 too early.
he
Yeah.
can't crack because the running is just such a pain.
So when he brings the other 2 checkers from the outfield, he will have killed his 5s. That will slow down the crunching of his home board, and were he to get an indirect shot or even a direct shot, he would still be a threat.
But then he will, at the same time, activate his 6s on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to find the right,
Yeah, the right moment.
yeah, the right moment because
So
you
this-
don't want to run either.
He's got
Is
6-2.
this the right moment?
I don't think this is. Oh,
You
his
just
opponent
made a
only has a
5-point
3-point board.
You made a 5-point board.
The race is
Some
really.
of the slash is bad.
He's still ahead. So if he runs with a 6, then any 2 or 6 by White doesn't make the 4-point.
And then a lot of the point
Except
numbers
double
you
two,
get a
sorry.
Yeah.
return shot like
Yeah.
a 3-5, 3-6 or something.
So the question is for Black: is his position going to deteriorate or improve? Now, if he plays the 6 in by playing 9-3, unless he rolls a 6 next time, in which case he's got the same decision, his home board is going to crunch, and he won't have the ability to contain a
I
hit
think he
white
has
checker.
to come out. I think he
Yeah,
has
he's
to come
also
out.
he's also
Coming out
up in the
very
race.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
What have we got here?
Oh.
Coming out's a big error.
He's come out. What sort of error is that?
1, 2, 1.
Ooh, it's a red.
Ooh, it's a bad error.
However-
he's got away with it.
6-5.
So you can see how difficult the game is. The commentators disagree.
Yeah.
We
it's,
may disagree with the machine. So
Well, now look at
now
this
he, now he
6-5.
has to any 6 by.
Pops a 6 now.
um,
He's golden.
The trouble is, if he hits with the 5, he has to slot the ace point with the 6. Being hit on the ace point is not that bad, but being hit on the 4 point is potentially very dangerous. The race is very close.
Yeah, he's down 3 pips
Yeah.
after the move, Franck. So.
And some crossovers if he is able to pop a 6.
Yeah, but
But he also has some wastage.
Right.
Yeah.
Bonnet.
They both have technically 1 pip of wastage, I think. So this is a big play. It might be an overplay given that the race is equal. He cannot. He has doubles, so he cannot win with the doubling cube. He has to win with his play of the checkers. Well, that play has worked out. But again, he still has to roll this prime home. I mean,
Right,
if
the
he
ace
rolls
comes
the
with
ace,
something, right?
yeah, the ace comes with something. So he may have to attack. He probably will have to attack here. 6-3. That looks like he's going to make 2 points to me. So it's a good roll for the race. He tidies up his position.
So the 6-5 was incorrect. It looks like small error, right?
Not so small.
Not so small.
Not so small error.
It was an overplay.
It's also it's very technical, difficult, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
All right. Bonnet
And you
needs a
think we
4.
play this game time and time again, and you make your decisions based on pattern recognition and experience, and we still get it wrong. Okay, so
Double 2.
double 2 is basically just going to bring 1, 2. I'd bring 1 in, but It's still a race, so
I don't think this is that bad because
I'd-
you're getting slashed
there'd
at.
be very, very little difference between the two players.
You're getting
Yeah,
slashed at, right?
5-2.
Or
A
pointed
perfect. He's made a perfect board.
Right.
Okay. So we told Frank before he started that he had to win the first game so we could have a second match.
Oh, that's
Oh,
No,
you can
no
live.
shot. There'll be no shot.
So this is going to be forced.
Right.
3-6-4-6. It makes no difference. 4-6. It's only 6-5. Whatever he does.
Yeah.
I never know whether to bring the nearer one on. Oh,
I think double
that's
four
called
would
one.
have played
That was a
much better.
5-3. 6-3 was the number he wanted. 4-1. Is he going to rip it?
Yes.
He didn't rip it.
Did he play that?
No,
legally?
he should have played it. I think he should have taken a checker off there. There are gammon chances here, and there's particularly gammon chances after that.
Right. Those gammon
That would
chances
not have
are
left a
small.
shot. 6-3 gammon chances diminishing. So White would now need another further 2 sets of doubles to win a gammon. 2-1 is not a double.
But Frank takes the first lead. of the
6-4. Okay, this is going to be a single game in a moment.
So Frank is taking the lead.
Frank is
after being down 0-4.
Yeah,
Good comeback.
yeah.
Do you think he will call for a break now?
It might do. Psychologically, it might be good to take a break because he's just edged ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, for sure. Frank is taking a break after this.
I thought all Frenchmen smoked by now.
And
Oh yeah, you should change it to a 17-point match. That's
Yeah.
probably important too.
Let's bring in Eric McAlpine. He's been waiting patiently, and I love his commentary as well.
No, thanks for
Eric?
taking it.
Thanks, Phil.
okay. Looks like we have a British double act for the next little bit.
You do.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Bray.
Good afternoon, Mr.
afternoon.
McAlpine. And
Ah.
Eric comes and the players leave. What does this tell us?
Great.
So we've got nobody really speaking English.
No,
Proper English.
no. So we're going to take a break, guys, as well.
Yeah,
So
time out.
Yep,
We'll
time
be back
out.
in around 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll
As long
be
as it takes
15.
Frank to smoke a cigarette. Welcome back. This is Chris Bray, still at mic, now joined by Eric McAlpine. A reminder, the score is 5-4 to Franck Stepler, playing Aurelien Bonnet, match to 17. If Aurelien wins this one, the whole thing is over. If Frank wins it, there is a second 9-point match to come. We are hoping to be here for some time.
Indeed, Chris, yes. I'm looking forward to this. Frank now seems to be finding his form. Game on.
What have we got? We've got 6-1, so perfect play so far. The PRs so far we're not quite sure because we've got one game that we need to catch up on, but they're currently round about the 6 mark for both players. 5-4, so pretty standard backgammon. Drop a checker down, and as soon as the spare has gone off the 8-point, you need to split the back checkers. So that's definitely the 4, and the 5 definitely comes down. You want the additional checker acting on the inner board. Running away just separates the back checkers. Yeah, so this is correct.
Looks good.
Ooh, 6-5. So, Mr. McAlpine, your choice is 13-7, 6-1, or 13-7, 13-8.
I like 13-7,
You wanna
6-1
hit-
here.
yeah.
I think you have to take action. You can't allow White to have
Yeah.
all of his role here. I like this play.
White has 4 very bad numbers here. That is not one of them.
Oops.
6-1 from the bar. Where have you heard that before? Okay. But again, black's in no real danger. He brings both checkers in. White's structure is not a thing of beauty yet. It's okay. 4-1. Ooh. I think it being ahead in the race, I would just run away here to the midpoint. I don't see a huge advantage to hitting inboard. Yeah, when ahead in the race.
I like the simplicity of that, Chris. Yes, I would go from 18 to 13 here. No need to take aggressive action.
Okay, so either we're all right or we're all wrong. So 3-2. Now, this is interesting. So if you hit from the 8-point, you've given up the 8-point. So if you have a spare checker, if you have 3 checkers on the 8-point, I would definitely hit with the 3. Yeah, he doesn't have that, but he can do this and make the anchor. So he has basically the security. So again, this would seem right. 6, so boxcar bonus. Known for when you fan with double 6s. Now he needs to make the point, which he has. The 6 is going to be pretty much forced. So black has established a nice early attack, but he does have 4 checkers in white's board. Looks, he's not even thinking about doubling. So 2-1. Okay, so now black has to have a plan. Now you come all the way, that was pretty quick. He could have come down from the midpoint with the 2, which he didn't even look at. He would have been hit with this double 2. I'm afraid we haven't got time to go back and analyse the other play. So he either makes the 5-point and drops the checker down, or he's going to have an ugly play if he does this. He could bring 1 checker to the bar, but that doesn't improve his position. I think he needs, yeah. So this looks right. He needs some teeth in his board to counteract a potential attack from black. But again, black has only 8 checkers in the attack zone, so he shouldn't be too fearful.
I prefer making the 5 here. I think because black's got a 3-point inner board, he's got the 5 and 4 made. You need to retaliate in the game by making the 5-point.
Okay, this looks good. Now, oh, 3-1. It's a sort of do nothing roll. So my immediate reaction is my opponent's only got 1 checker back. Everything I do is very passive unless I hit him. Hitting doesn't necessarily mean you can execute a blitz, but it stops white doing things for a couple of rolls. So I'm just looking at other possibilities. He can play 7-4, 24-23, but just lets white to go. So I think this is the right play. When in doubt, hit. I may say this 20 or 30 times during the course of the afternoon. So now he has Frank has a 3-1 to play, so he can come in on the ace point, safety the block, or he can diversify his checkers. And again, black does not have enough ammunition in the attack zone, so I suspect this is the right play.
Keeps his
Okay,
options open.
so with the 4, oh sorry, it's a 5, isn't it? 5-4, so his fours are somewhat constrained, so this looks to be a sensible choice given that he didn't have much choice. White will now try to run away. So he can make the bar. I think he should look at least making the bar. That's a sort of play that flipped into my mind because again black has only a small attack, but this could well be right. Because he, sorry, I didn't see it was a hit, so that's fine. Yeah,
Looks good.
yeah, no, so went ahead in the race, okay, so he's been hit back, 4-3 from the bar. Everything else looks very passive. I know you have to give up the midpoint to hit.
Yeah, he does. I think he's worrying about that a little bit too much. But if that white checker gets away, he's in danger of facing the
Yeah.
cube and making an uncomfortable decision. So he must hit.
On the other, when the boot's on the other foot here, if he fans, then that checker on the 11 point is a potential point of attack. And although he's come in, he can't safety the other blot. So he can create a diversionary hit on the 5 point, but then that's 3 blots against a 4 point board, which I don't suspect is a great idea. So if he comes out, it's 28 shots plus 5-2, so that's 30 shots if he comes to the bar. This way it's less, so this could well be right. I would be counting numbers here and I wouldn't have made my decision as yet. The play has worked. So he can do this and this. Sorry, make the 10 point. Now that black structure on the other side of the board is ugly. Right. So again, we've had double 4 about 4 times this afternoon. If he rolls it again, black's going to be in some trouble. The race is 20. So white is ahead 28 pips in the race. Does he have enough market losers to offer the cube? So if he escapes the rear checker and black doesn't hit, then he may be so far ahead in the race that it certainly has a double, and whether black has a take or not is open to question. If he makes the bar point again, that's a very strong position with black's 5 checkers stranded. Let's see.
The 4-3 before was actually incorrect.
Yeah?
He should have played the 4 from 10 to 6 and then came in with the 3 instead to make it a little more flexible. And he has a little more outfield control by staying at the 13 point there. So that was like a blunder.
Okay, so
So
thank you for that, and you can see why black's position is ugly, and I think it may be ugly enough to have created a potential doubling position for white. And in fact, Franck has doubled. Right, that's just this must be a take, but it's not great. But again, he's got a high anchor, so he's going to lose very few gammons from here, and white has still a lot of work to do to bring the position home. So will he escape the rear checker? That's the first question, to which the answer is yes. 5-3, runs away. So he's got 7s and 10s, so 10. Oh, 10!
So easy.
So it's an easy game when you play well backgammon. Easy game.
very, very easy, especially when you
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah. Oh, and a fan. Now that checker on the 11 points looking a high-risk piece of strategy. 5-3. So he's got to release one of the checkers, so that's 5. Can you release 2 checkers?
I would play 2 out.
I think the benefit of dancing here by white, I think black should play aggressively here, hope for the dance, and then he's got a consideration if he can play on a position, win an undoubled gammon. I would take the risk here based on the blot on the ace point.
And I think one of the things you learn is that the blots protect themselves when your opponent has one man on the bar. So here this is a 3. The 6 would have been a hit, but then that would have been 4 blots. Okay, so he's tidied this up. So black is going to hit with any 5 or 7, or is that an 11? No, 11 doesn't hit.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
It does hit. You can,
Where am
you
I?
can hit
Sorry.
with the 5.
Yeah.
Now it's the question.
I'm glad
of-
my co-commentators are awake. I seem to be asleep. The 6 has to come out surely, because coming round with the 6 adds no value.
It gives white.
Duplicates the 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And double 3 leaves a shot. No, we don't like this play.
I'm not so keen on this.
I want to release one of those extra checkers. How's the races tightened up a bit? Yeah, the XG likes taking a checker out. Don't forget, again, if he hits comes in and hits, say he comes in and hits with a 1-4 or, 1-4, then the lot on the ace point is a liability still. 5-4. Redouble. What's the race? Race is very close, but any 1 or 7 gives black a very high gammon potential here. 4, redouble to 4 and a gammon, 8 points, 12-5. So you're playing this in a knockabout game in the bar, you take it. Right? In the final of a major tournament, well, a lot of people I know take it, let me put it that way. In the final of a major tournament, that taking risk of losing 8 points, it's hard to analyse calmly sometimes. So I would redouble this. He doesn't redouble, 4-2, so now he's going to have to cross that. He could. This is why the previous move was wrong. If he'd played the 6 out, he could have then have been playing 16-10. Yeah. So let's see if he can roll the 3 and hold off the cube. The cube is definitely coming if he fans again. 1 and 4. Okay, so he's going to make the point, tidy that up. Now this doesn't look like a redouble.
I think he's missed his moment. I think he has to roll.
And 4-2 is a horror roll. He's going to hit with the 2 because there's nothing better, and he needs the tempo, and then just safe to bring the checker down to the 10 point. Okay, so again, now it's more interesting if he fans. Double 3.
What a shot.
Wow, I'm going to block 6s. I'm bringing 3 down, and I'm not leaving any extra checkers exposed.
I agree, Chris. And now we're seeing slightly here from Mr. Bonnet that he may have missed an opportunity to either win this game or at least win 8 points.
But it's just rolled 1-2,
However?
which of course is precisely the roll that he needed. Double 1 was also quite good. Oh, and now time to think. Any 3 or 5 potentially lose the market. 5. So he's going to run away with 1 checker. I wouldn't give the 3-5 here unnecessarily. I'd provide double coverage of the 8 point by going to the 14 point.
I like this.
Yeah. 3. The 2 is not that attractive. The race is very equal. I don't think he has enough market losing rolls now. Okay, he's going to hit with any 3, 7 or 11. That's a 7. So he hits with the 3, thinks about the 4. Okay. Now if he fans as the cube is coming. He fans. Now again, there's still gammon potential for black here. If he rolls double 2, double 4, double 6, he's not going to like himself that much. I'd put the pressure on.
But I think this is the advantage of Stepler is that he takes deep. So Bonnet may think that, oh my God, suppose this goes wrong. He may be hesitating just because of Frank's reputation, not because he knows it's a cube.
Here it comes. Now again, that spectre of a gammon on 4, and that's a very quick decision.
It is, but I think he's correct in passing here.
That's what's our friend say?
Double pass.
3 double pass. Yeah. Okay, it was a big pass.
Yeah,
Okay. You just lose too many gammons, and to go down whatever it was, 13-5, 12-5 would have been.
But Bonnet's score got dinged quite a bit for not redoubling earlier.
Yeah. So potentially he could have got the redouble in when it was a more difficult decision.
And he may have also rolled better if he put the pressure on with the 4
Yeah.
cube. I think he gave him an opportunity there, but
Yeah. One of the most useful quotes I ever heard was from Knack Ballard, the great American player, who said, I redouble positions that I know aren't even redoubles because people drop them and the computers just do not understand that concept. And he's won loads of points he should not have won purely through that aggression and the fear factor that the opponent has.
I have to mention, though, that I've played with Knack a lot, and I have never dropped one of his redoubles, and I've never beaten him.
Okay, double 4. So white off to a good early start here. 5-4,
Excellent response.
Totally negates that advantage. Okay. Ooh, all right. So this is not quite high anchor versus high anchor, but the theory is the same. Black will build a board. The theory being slot cover, and make your points in order. Meanwhile, white is trying to run away. He's going to have 4 outfield strip points here in a minute if he's not careful, but that's probably still the right play.
Well, this play's quite interesting. Does he block 6 away and advances 2 checkers from 16, or does he go to the 9?
Yeah,
It's a tough one, actually.
it is a tough one. This gives him more flexibility to play. The other play gives him more landing points.
What do you think, Mick?
No, I was just thinking that maybe 4 down could also be an opportunity. I mean, this looks a bit inflexible.
Yeah, no, I think people often miss the 4 down concept. That could well be the play. So that was the answer.
This is
the
rollout, so this
okay.
is very close.
All the plays were fairly close there at the end of the day.
Oh,
Okay, what did he roll? 5-2.
okay, yeah.
Okay. 6-5. Oh, something. Given that his opponent has 3 blots inboard, he is not going to play this safely. The question is, how do you play the 6-5? You clear the rearmost point when you're ahead in the race. That looks like good theory.
Looks good.
So he will now make 2 inner board points. Okay. Six 3 will make the 3 point.
Yep.
Okay, so who's going to blink first?
So
Yeah.
good roll by Aurelien there. He needs to stay holding in this race. Try and prevent Frank from cubing.
6-3. Frank won't have a cube until he's at least cleared the 11 point. So this has got a little bit ugly. He now has 3 stripped outfield points. So the danger sign should be ringing quite loudly in his head. Now you either slot the 2 point or you make the 5 point prime. Now here I think I would have just made the 5 point prime because he might get a shot this time. 6-4. There's only one safe way to play it.
I would go for the safe play here. Being ahead in the race. No need to be a hero.
But those other 2 points, let's go back to the war scenario. You've just left 4 guys out in no man's land.
I think this is a little bit too much at this
This
stage.
is too much. Because black is also stripped, and he rolls a big number that doesn't make the 2 point, and he has the same problems as white. So I think you sit and wait.
You must wait. I think it's only bad if you roll 6x after clearing the 8,
Yeah.
so I prefer to take that
You can give the
chance.
shot next time. You don't need to give it this time gratuitously when there is absolutely no need. He has given the shot gratuitously, but has not been. Oh, what was that?
Yes,
The
he has.
6-2. He's been punished. No doubt he'll come in with 2-1 or 2-4. Oh, 6-5.
And our Silicon
Yeah.
friend has just said he made a 300 blunder on giving up the 13 point. And now he's pondering, do I cube, do I not
I'm
cube?
definitely doubling. Here it comes. I'm definitely not taking.
I think you have to let this go.
So, and that particular game, the backgammon gods were awake and alive, and Frank was punished for a really unnecessary play, because it was still difficult to clear those checkers, even after he made the play he made. There was no guarantee that the blot on the midpoint would get to safety next turn.
But more importantly, he was so far ahead in the
Yeah.
race, there's
So-
just no need.
I'm going to take a break, and Mr. Simborg is going to replace me, so I'll see you a little bit later on.
Great job, Chris. I learned a lot listening to you, and it was very interesting, your commentary. Don't go far. I want you back. We need you back.
Hi Phil,
Eric, we're a team again. I
We
love
are.
it. I love it. A great team.
I love it too.
Yeah. Beauty in the brains.
Okay, 5-2. He's thinking about slashing, but I think he's...
Well, aren't you supposed to slash here? Isn't that the normal play?
It depends. He's
On the
got a
second
seven.
roll?
He's got a 7-5 lead.
Uh-huh.
He's going. Not always. Not always.
I don't play a 7-5 lead any differently than 0-0 at the 17. I just don't think it's enough. Now, one of my great mentors and teachers thinks differently. Joe Sylvester used to say, I don't care if I'm down 1 point, I'm going gammon go. And he sure has a good record, so I wouldn't put it lightly with what Joe Sylvester may have to say. But I don't change my game, and XG doesn't seem to change it that much.
Okay, 4-3.
This is a tough play here.
It is, but I think 'cause he's
Come
got
out to
one
the bar.
back, I
Yeah.
don't mind this.
Yep. Well, what's tough for me may not be tough for them.
Okay, ace to play. Yeah, okay.
I promise you make one of the bars.
I think for sure he's going to do that, and I think 8-7 looks the way to go here. Lifting.
I'm not sure. I kind of like making the 18 point, making the opponent's bar here. Let's find out what XG says.
That's the play.
XG likes my play.
Well played, Phil. Are you what's that, $3 now?
How about the blind squirrel theory?
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Nice play.
So you're just trading points on the other side, but you're really gaining something on this side. It's just a real simple way to look at it for me.
Oh, absolutely. I made a common mistake by backgammon players because the other one looked so pretty. I want to make the 7 point.
I hear you. But especially when black is stacked a lot, that means he wants to unstack by attacking, and I like to make the bar point and give him a lot less to attack on that side of the board.
Okay, Frank's.
Cock dice.
No,
It is.
he's been. Okay.
Oh, that's a
Double
good roll.
fives.
You want it to matter.
Okay, so
Do you make the ace point?
I think you must
Okay,
make the ace
yeah.
point. He's got too many advantages with all those blocks
Yes,
open.
plus the unstacking. That's something that
Yeah.
they didn't do when I started playing this game 30,
Oh,
40
wow,
years ago.
double 3.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, what a roll!
yep. That's a joker.
That's a super joker, I
Yeah,
think, Phil.
that's what makes backgammon exciting too. You've already got that chance.
Okay, 2-3. This is looking bad for black.
Yeah,
He hits here. Frank's definitely going to look at this. I sense that he would definitely cube this position. He's going to do a bit of a Hollywood here and have a look, and I'm not sure, and do I want to cube? He will definitely cube, and there's just too much danger of gammon here. Aurelien's position is very fractured. I see a double and a pass here from the players.
And once you make that ace point, even though it was the right play, when it doesn't work, oh, he took it.
What
Took
do
it
I
quickly.
know? What do I know? He takes.
It's a take.
And it is a take.
It's a big take.
Okay, and a big take.
I think it's due to the 3 plots also.
What's that, Mick?
I think it's also due to the 3 blots he has on, Frank has on in the outfield. I mean, it's not, if he fans that, he fans on 4 numbers and he has some 6s that are not fantastic. I mean, he can make his bar point, but then he will leave another blot on the 13 point. So there's still a lot of play in it for black.
Excellent.
Well,
Okay, he has some options here. Where does he hit? For me personally, I like sending the the second checker back.
you do. I like this play because you don't let him make her.
Fair play.
Which one was right?
That one.
That one? Okay.
Please play.
His play was right.
Good play.
Which means I was right?
Again.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
I want to retire now while I'm ahead.
It's really
Okay.
good to be right.
Yeah, I didn't like the anchor. Plus, you got a lot of shots of that other checker if he doesn't tidy him up.
Well, he's already exposed. There's no need to be overexposed here,
Uh-huh.
especially as he doesn't. own
There's
the
a great
cube.
number. There's a great number. Only 11 ways to get hit here. He has to roll a 5. Oops, and he
Oh,
did.
That's a great shot.
Very good. Very good.
Hit was good. Both him with
Yeah.
the hit.
And you roll
Very,
a 5
very good.
around 30% of the time. So about 70% of the time he was in very good shape with that play. Everything in backgammon is risk and reward. You're trying to weigh the two, just like you do in life. You're always weighing risk and reward. Should I have that dessert or not?
Fan. Double 6.
Wow.
Oh,
He can cover with the 6,
I think that's
and the
mandatory.
1 is automatic.
Yeah, yeah. So now Orion's hoping that Franck, I was about to say dances forever, and he gets a chance to bring
Yeah.
his checkers into play, but he's rolled an excellent number here.
I think you have to come down, I think coming out, or I mean down or in, but
I like this
not
play.
out, yeah.
I like this play.
Yes, no direct
7
shot.
away.
No direct shot.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna roll a 7 here. Oops,
Oh!
wait a minute, somebody did. And
Bang.
advance.
6-3.
See what a big take this was?
Huge take. I thought the scare factor may have made him pass, but
Uh-huh.
good take by Orion.
I would have been scared.
I would have been as well.
Uh-huh.
Did he look scary to you when you were talking
Yes,
before?
yes,
Yeah.
it
He
did.
looked scared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Eric was passing and I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
No, not the cube, but when you were talking to the guys before.
Oh, he didn't look scared, you're
you
right.
didn't.
No, I never
No,
saw a
he-
guy look more confident than,
This was
than
my
yeah.
feeling.
both of them. I didn't see any lack of confidence in either one. They were both thrilled to be in the finals. We spent a little time interviewing both of them, and you wouldn't find two happier guys.
Okay, so he's got 2 more 2s to play, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so this looks standard. He doesn't really want to leave a shot here, so I think he has to.
Just come closer.
Yeah.
That's all they
yeah,
can do.
Keep
You
it
don't want
nice
to
and
give. You're
balanced.
not going to give up the midpoint. I don't know what he's looking at. This is pretty much forced.
Yeah.
Now White may have to attack here, and he got a great roll to attack.
Untap,
Hit
attack.
and point. That's one of my favorite sentences in backgammon.
Yeah.
Hit and point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he fanned, yeah?
Yep.
Fan,
Fan.
6-1. Okay, he's going to look at it and then play it to the 13.
He
There's
comes
no
in
better
with
one.
he comes in with 20 numbers, and oh my slotting here. That's a big play against the 4-point board.
Wow.
It's not only a big play, he's looking at a bit of flair here being French, but I think
Uh-huh.
not owning the cube, he has to play a bit more
Uh-huh.
simple.
I make those kind of plays when I have a doubles partner, just to scare him,
Oh, okay.
and then I put it back.
Yeah. He's just looking to bring his checkers around, cover that one single block.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 6-4. I jump it from the anchor here personally. Yeah, Think- I think this is best with 6-4. Gives him good coverage. It's duplicating the 4 anyway.
Uh-huh. This was obviously a pass. No, the way it's working out now. It's swung, this game has swung several times.
Wow, that's
a joker. That's
fantastic
great.
shot.
Yeah. Now
And
we,
now Frank's cube makes sense.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's a great cube. Well, we know nobody disagreed with the cube. It was the take we were concerned about. Mick would have taken this cube quickly, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It looked like an easy take.
The take was correct. I mean,
And it was correct, yeah. And sometimes the best laid plans.
He wants to pick up.
Okay, 4-3 here. He's thinking about what he wants to do. I don't mind the chicken play. I think it's okay. He's just looking to bring his checkers home safely, not take any too much risk.
Oh.
That's one way to bring it home safely. Nice close out.
Now he's thinking about gammons. Now he's thinking about how do I win a double game.
Oh, for sure, in his position 5-7 down, he would love to win 4 points here.
Mhm.
Go ahead in the match score, put Orion under pressure to win this first match. For sure, he's got to play for gammon here.
Can you click on match and see what the game PR is for a second? Ah, by the way, I just looked at the game PR. They're both playing very, very well this game, right around 3 and 4 PR. Excellent play by both players.
Good.
That's not so easy to do under pressure. I give a lot of credit to both of these guys.
Okay, I would like a gammon here, so my preferred play is to come in on the 6, and then I go to the ace point rather than 4 and jog to 3. Actually, you could also go to.
I don't like this
I'm
play.
not so keen on this.
No, I don't like that. I'm
I
with
think
you,
it's
Merrick.
either the
Eric.
6 point or go straight to the 4 point.
The faster you open up, the quicker he can get off the gammon. I think this has to be the right play.
slightly favour this, but also I don't mind going straight to the 4.
They're tied.
Equal.
The two plays are tied.
So it's over your eyes and how you feel the position here.
Well, when the two plays are tied, I roll it out until I get it right, and then I stop the rollout when I'm right.
And then you say you won the bet.
And then I say I won the bet with Carter, sure, of course.
Okay,
6-1.
6-1.
Clear the 6.
Yeah, this looks,
Nothing hurts.
yeah.
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 Yeah, nothing
Okay.
can go wrong now. Can't possibly not win the gammon now.
5-3.
And every time I say that, I get hit right in the face.
Okay, love a fan here. Oh, that's very, very good for Frank.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very good for him. He's just thinking off, off, dance, dance. Off,
Yep.
off, dance, dance.
Set.
Yeah. Oh, that's... Gammon's getting closer. That's
oh,
perfect.
Wow.
Okay, he's in huge gammon danger now.
Now he's thinking of something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Set.
You know, they talk about big swings. This game is the biggest swing game
Okay.
of the match so far, where one player could have won 2 points and now the other guy wins 4, possibly. That's a big, big swing. That's a 6-point swing. I don't think we've had a game this critical yet. And to their credit, they both played extremely well. 2 and 3 PR.
And that's the gammon.
That's game.
So that puts Frank to 9-7 ahead.
That's a big swing. Wow. Your match winning equity goes up by about 10% there.
And knowing the type of player that Frank is, he will love this position now. Wind in his sails, he's won a gammon, he's 9-7 ahead. I
Uh-huh.
can see him making a few moves and pushing the button.
So if you look, we're actually fortunate enough to see see a live feed from the play, and you could see that Frank's leaning across the board. Oh, I didn't know. Everyone gets to see it, but you can tell Frank has confidence, just his posture, the way Bonnet is now kind of going back, leaning a little forward. It's got a little bit of a defeatist attitude.
Okay. 6-5.
Again, rewarded for splitting those back checkers, which is often hard to do against stacked points like that, but you need to get those guys moving. That's the theme of Michi's lecture, and it's really paying off. And I've seen Frank do it consistently in this match. In fact, he split a couple times when I wouldn't have. I'm not sure it was always right, but it sure worked.
Okay, Frank's starting to find his form now. He's flowing. That French flair is coming to the prominence again.
Yep.
I sense that he's starting to feel his moment here.
He's winning the race. He's got 2 checkers back of his opponent. You start thinking about, when am I going to cube here? He's starting to think about it already.
Okay, I like the fact that he's thinking. It's still too early for
Seems
myself.
a little early. It might conceivably be a cube if you're well down in a match, but I think there's a rule of thumb here that we use. You got to be up about 15% in the race, maybe a little bit more than that. Mochi has a PowerPoint on this that shows you need to be down 23 pips, and you can still take from the 3-point, especially if there's 2 points open in front of you. So I didn't have the exact pip count, but it was nowhere near 23 pips.
5 pips.
Oh, 5 pips. Then it was nowhere near a cube. Now, if White had either the 4-point or the 7-point, even with 5 pips, it still wouldn't be close to a cube. But maybe at about 12 or 14 pips, it would be. But with those 2 open points, you've really got to have a very large pip lead to double a 3-point holding game. And this, I'm really smart because I just remember what Mochi says and repeat it.
Also, there's 5 checkers on the midpoint, so there's no joker number where he can clear and put himself back ahead in the game.
Yeah, Grant Hoffman came up with a great rule of 4 for doubling these holding games, and the rule of 4 says you don't even think about doubling until you have 4 or fewer checkers on the midpoint. Mick pointed that out. Thanks, Mick.
You're welcome.
Smarter than you look.
I was gonna say the same.
Okay.
So this is more than just a race, because Black can get a shot. I mean, Aurelien can hit a shot, or get lucky and win the race. He's got two ways to win, so you have to be a little bit more careful. And when you give the cube, you are giving power to your opponent. It's called cube vig. But the biggest reason not to double too soon is that you make it easy for your opponent. You're not giving him a hard decision. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was when I went into my first major finals. Neil Kazaros turned to me and said, I was playing Mike Sankiewicz, who was far better than me, and Neil said, be sure you always pressure him with the cube. That was his advice. Of course, I called Perry Gartner, my coach, and I said, I'm in the finals. What's your advice? And he said, hedge.
Okay, so he's got a decision here with the double one. Does he step up? I can see he's looking at it, thinking I'm behind in the race. So he makes the 2 point here. I'm not so sure about this.
I would have stepped up.
And me too.
I would have stepped up as well.
And stepping up was right.
XG steps up.
FG steps up. I just, you lose all opportunity basically to race from the 3 point compared to the 4 point. It's huge to be able to race from the 4 point. A lot more rolls will get you out. And yes, you're playing for more contact, but the odds of getting a shot and hitting it and giving up your race is just not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, he had 3s, 5s, and 6s if he stepped up.
Uh-huh.
4s and 6s staying back.
Now
If
what
you're-
about double?
Now it's a double and looks
Now
like
it's a double and it's passed according to Mochi's formula.
I think this
You're
is
down more than 23 pips and
Yeah.
there's only 1 point. This is a pass for money. And because he's behind in the match, I think you'd have to be quite a bit behind to think about taking here.
it's going to take.
But the momentum has just shifted so much to Stepler that now he's thinking, ugh, how can I keep losing these silly games? So I feel like it's probably a pass, but you've lost your momentum. In certain matches like this, it's all about where the swings come.
It's not even probable.
Okay, still thinking here, but this is a too difficult a position to take. He hardly ever gets the shot, and when he does, it's minimum shots, and if he doesn't hit, he's lost the game.
And he's pretty much dead in the race. Oh, okay.
And-
He took-
Hey, he's,
and he took.
he's seen something else that I haven't
And,
seen so far. He believes in his anchor.
what does XG say? XG says it was a blunder? Big pass? Okay. Well, that's, I can't be too critical. We're not under the pressure that they are under, looking at sitting here comfortably watching the match and not having many thousands of dollars and a trophy on the line. So I don't fault people for making mistakes like that. I've made worse.
Oh, sure, he sees he's behind in the match
Yeah.
score. He's holding an
Yeah,
anchor.
but I've never made this kind of mistake for this kind of money. Because I've never played for this kind of money. So I can say that at least. But I would have passed that very quickly. Yeah.
I would have as well, Phil. I just think
Yeah.
you just don't see a shot often enough.
Well, I don't think I saw him at my boot camp with Mochi, and if he had been there, he would have passed this.
Oh,
Number
wow.
5.
Okay,
There we go.
Opportunity
Yeah.
knocks.
You know,
Here we go.
now that I think about it, it might have been a take. Okay, there's a chance here. That was a pretty bad roll, and the reason that's such a bad roll, even though it gained so many pips, is that it greatly increases the likelihood or the possibility of white leaving a shot.
This is a forced.
This is a forced play. He
Yeah.
has to go to the ace point.
And even if he leaves a shot, though, you only have about a 30 or 35 to 40% chance of hitting.
The question is, do you split now as Aurelien?
No. Too
Well,
many.
hold
Too
on a
many
minute.
ways.
He's
Five,
got
look at how
forced
the
5. Look at
6-5
how
plays.
6-5 plays.
Mm.
Yeah.
Split was right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You
And
just
he
created
didn't
bad
think very
numbers.
long about that
No,
either.
I would have definitely taken a look at that.
Eric, I'm glad I wasn't playing you this weekend. That was, I would have missed that. I honestly, I would have thought about it longer, though, I tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a fantastic
Yeah.
position on his side
Yeah.
of the board. His position is scrambled on the other side. You've got to
Uh-huh.
look for ways to win this
Yeah.
game. And
A
there,
pretty-
I would have spent some time on that move.
A pretty good lesson is if you're going to make a mistake, at least give it some time. If you make a mistake quickly, that means that you're playing too quickly. You need to slow down and think about it. He certainly is a good enough player. If he took his time, if that was on a quiz, he would get it right. And I think
Sure.
I would too.
Yes.
Even more time.
Yeah.
So slow down. Why? There's no reason to play this fast if you're in the finals.
Half-assed.
How often do you make the
Okay.
finals of a tournament like this? Give it some thought.
This looks a bit awkward. I don't like this play. I prefer to keep that spare on the 5 point. not take it away here.
Now you definitely split with this 3.
You must
Just
split
look
with the
at
3. This is mandatory.
The checkers are out
He's
of
not even
position.
He's
thinking,
holding.
not even thinking about the
I
split.
don't like this. It's,
Not even
it's
thinking
really
about it.
reducing.
And again,
his-
it's a blunder not to. Yeah. And again,
No, it's okay. 'Cause
That's
he's got
okay.
to do
It's
that.
not bad because
It's
because
okay.
he had more points made in his board and it would have been more.
Yeah.
All right, there's a roll that's gonna put the pressure on both players now. This is exciting. This is very exciting what's gonna happen here. Ooh,
Okay.
you have to run with 1. You're way down in the race.
You
gotta-
are. Plus, you want to keep that board closed. So.
Yeah, I think you just gotta go with it.
This is illegal.
Yeah, illegal? Yeah, he's moved too far so far.
He has. He's moved
he's
a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, he's moved 7. And his opponent isn't pointing it out. Maybe you don't point it out until the move's over. I don't know. I would point it out.
Well, we're hoping.
If he makes, but please make sure I know.
Isn't the referee supposed to
and
point this
there's
out?
John Broomfield missing the play.
Is John asleep there? Wait a minute.
I think he's waiting until he actually has finished the move, right?
No, that's illegal, isn't it? Yes, he's got to end up on a yellow
Right.
point, if it's even to even and odd to odd. And they're missing it. They both missed the illegal play.
So he played 22, 9.
Oh, okay,
22 to 9.
Now they noticed.
Oh, now they've just noticed it, and it's been corrected.
okay,
And Broomfield, he isn't nodding. He agreed.
I think that was done by the players.
okay.
But they
good.
found it. That's
They
the most
found it,
important
yes.
thing.
That's what happens with legal moves. Either player, as soon as possible, should correct it.
Correct, but I do believe this is a non-legal moves tournament. But
No, it isn't. You must play legal moves, isn't it?
no,
No?
not with
for
this.
sure not here.
Not here,
Oh,
but
not
there's
here.
a
Okay.
there's a gentleman's agreement between
Wow.
both players that they both agree to play
Travi
legal
and I-
moves, which is okay here.
Oh,
In the finals last year, Travi and I actually specified that we both preferred to play legal moves. So they said, because they said that it wasn't forced, so it's important to specify.
well, that's because Travi knows your reputation.
Yeah, because I learned from you.
Okay, so he's thinking here. Has he got all of this to play? Double 2s.
That's it.
I like this play.
I like it too.
Don't give him a chance to catch up in the
And
race.
get him up higher where he gets fewer shots.
Correct. Yeah. Slow him down.
He's only down 33 bucks.
I would, yeah, you don't play for the gammon here with 1 checker back. Play safe, win the game.
Oh,
I would not do this. Why give yourself a chance to roll 5-1 or 6-1? There you go.
Yeah, he's
There
a
you go.
big favourite
Yeah.
already in this game. No,
Well, you know, once in a while you get what you deserve. This was a big drop, and he's going to pay for it.
yeah. Okay, this is like a straight win here. We're going to
Yeah.
end up being 11-7.
Yeah. And if I'm Aurelien, I go smoke another cigarette. And if I didn't smoke a cigarette, I'd go smoke one now.
I have to agree with you, Phil.
I might start smoking.
why is it 7? Oh, no, there is 1. 6. What was his roll?
Was 5, 6.
Okay, this is gin already. Oh no, I didn't see the spare checker.
Yeah.
I thought you had 6 checkers there.
Now it's gin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
5,
11-7
And
to Frank.
if I'm Aurelien, I take a break here and compose myself a little
I
bit.
think so.
He
Yeah.
just had 2 big swing
They are not
losses.
taking a break.
They're not
Looking at their
I would. You can
Body
sen-
language, yeah.
you can sense that Frank's gained some momentum here. He's finding his
He's
spots.
setting
He's
up.
feeling good.
Yep, yep.
I wouldn't want to continue playing with
No.
my opponent when he's
No.
in this mode.
No,
oh, maybe.
I would take a break if I were.
For sure, I would take a break here.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
They're
Nope,
going. They're going.
we're playing on.
Well, there's something about playing on 2 showing your confidence that you're not shook.
Clean.
You went show your opponent that, hey, I'm not bothered. Let's get on. Come on, let's fight this out.
Yeah, in one degree, but also at the same time, he's made quite a few points. That's 6 points, is it? I believe in the last 2 games.
Yeah, 4 and a 2. Plus, how'd they play that? Well, they except for that, there's a couple of real blunders there. The not splitting, and
Okay.
and the take. Aurelien had some real blunders in that game. That was not a good game for him.
And it's not like losing this game for him is equal. It costs money.
Okay. Okay.
That's the difference between money play and match play. You can make a lot of mistakes and lose a money game, and it's over, and you start all over. With a match, it haunts you until the end of the match because you got to keep playing, and it's cumulative. And that's why match play to me is at least 3 times as exciting and intellectually stimulating than money play. And I'd say 90% of the people who play backgammon in the world have never played a match. And once they do and they get a taste of it, it's really exciting. It's really interesting. And probably another 80% of the people who play have never played with a doubling cube, which also makes the game incredibly exciting and complex. And a lot of people haven't played with Carter or me, and that makes the game very exciting too. Got to come to Chicago for that. All right, 6-4.
Make the 5 point.
I think this looks
Yeah.
best. 5 point looks good. Very good
Who
here.
was it that said if you can make the 5 point, you got to find a very good reason not to, or you should make it? And that's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Okay, he's got one more deuce to play. Yeah, he's got 3 options here.
I bring it down. Why have the blot and why not make a point? I think there you lose a builder for the bar. I don't like that. I don't like that play.
I think this is a close call between all of them, actually.
Yeah. Well,
Very close.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
close, but bringing it down is slightly better.
Yeah.
Let me have a point at least for that.
Yeah, a bit of protection, holding the
Yeah.
11 point there, bearing on the point you want to make next.
I don't like losing the builder for the bar, and that builder was also a builder for the 5 point. So I think that swings it for me.
Okay.
And you prevent the 6-5 from getting hit.
And is this double fives?
Double
for
fives from the bar.
Aurelien? Okay, so this is all dependent on the race now.
Well,
How he plays this move.
he's certainly got to be winning the race after this double 5, but not by a lot. 13 pips ahead after the move.
Well,
That's enough.
Still pretty good.
That's enough to be playing race. But he's got a priming game too. But
He
White's
has.
only game is a hitting game, so you don't want to give White a lot of hitting opportunity.
I like the look of this play.
Hmm.
I do. If he gets missed, he's in a very nice position.
He's in a great position if he gets missed, but
Okay.
doesn't get missed.
Yeah. Okay, he's thinking about his 5. Yeah. Yeah.
This is pretty much forced. 6-5.
Well, 6-5, or he could move to the 10 point.
Oh, I didn't even see that blot there.
Yeah,
Didn't even see the checker there.
It's slightly better for the
Yeah.
position, I feel, to move to the 10.
Uh-huh. This is why I like rim checkers with silver rims or some kind of metal rim, so it stands out. Those black checker on the dark blue points, you lose them. I didn't even see it.
That's age, Phil.
That's not age. That's because I like the P40 and the Jeffrey Parker boards and the ones with the metal rims.
Yeah.
And I have no personal prejudice there at all, by the way.
Okay, that's a very, very good shot.
You can go out and safe. You're winning the race.
I'm not sure. You can also make the 9 here and really put the anchor under pressure
Make
here.
the 9 and leave another blot out there when
Yeah, there's some value in that. You're
All right.
trailing 7-11
I
here.
think we have our first bet.
I'll tell you, I'm not.
This is my play.
I'll take the 9.
I'll take the 9 point here.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I got a $1 bet with all of you. And the 9 point's right. I owe $4.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Will you take Turkish money?
Sure, I'm in Turkey. Why not? I'm here
Right.
till Friday.
And then I just saved about 86 cents.
Okay,
Wow, I got to look at that one. See, you live and learn.
6-1.
I didn't like leaving all those blots and just playing the race.
Okay, Frank's thinking about this. Will we see
Oh, you know, the race is
French
very
flair
close.
here?
Race is
Yes,
very
we
close.
do. I love this.
Yeah.
Nice play.
Wow.
Yeah. Lots of people are scared here to slot twice. Oh, the shot's coming next time if I slot and I hit, it's going to cause a problem.
Ooh, a double. A double here, yes. I wasn't thinking double here. What's the pip count? 5 pips? Down by 5 pips.
Down by 5 and
Down
cube?
by 5. Oh my
More or less down,
goodness.
like-
Oh, okay.
Well, this may be because you're losing and you start thinking I got to gamble a little bit.
If you made the 9,
Wow.
even then it's probably not a cube.
Oh, we got a pass.
No.
my goodness.
I'm almost speechless. I'm quite sure that Frank didn't actually count the race here. I think this
Wow.
is.
You know what?
He
Maybe
looks like a defender.
maybe
or
he
lead
saw
break.
maybe he
That's
saw
the
something we
break,
didn't.
that's the break.
Maybe he saw something we didn't. Maybe he saw his opponent slump in the seat or leave out a sigh of breath. I do that in shoeettes all the time. A guy rolls a bad roll, and bang, I give him the cube and walk
Penalty
away.
break.
All right, we'll
Okay.
take a break. See you in a little while, guys.
On you go.
Okay, so we're back. Eric McAlpine and now with Chris Bray.
Yes, I took a quick break to go and listen to the live streaming in the cinema here at the hotel, which is fantastic. We have a nice large crowd listening in. Some of them even were complimentary enough to say they'd learned something from the commentary. So here we go. Frank leads 11-8 to 17. So not a huge lead, but Aurelien will be worried slightly.
And Frank will be looking to press here. I know him very well. He'll have enjoyed winning those last 6 points. Can't wait to get started again, I'm sure.
From match equity tables, Frank's about 67% to win from here. Okay, so a quiet 2-1 opening. The 2-1 is a matter of choice. According to our Silicon friend XG, there's no difference between the two plays, slotting and splitting at the back. So 5-4, not too much choice. 3-2's clear with a hit. Think about the 3. Could be a good time to split the back checkers.
Split, extra builder,
Extra builder.
potentially as well. Think about cubing.
Yeah,
Close call, I think.
yeah. So, oh, not a good. Oh, sorry, I thought that was 4-5. That was 6-5. Okay, so he needs a little security here. 2, 6, 8, 9 checkers or 8.5 checkers in the attack zone.
So he pops it out.
Pops it out.
Would you have safety to the 6
I might
there,
have
Chris?
saved it to the 6 because now I can't connect the back checkers, but equally well. So here is 2 and the 3. So now very good for black because he has both an attack and the full back of an anchor on his opponent's 4 point, and his opponent has very carelessly fanned. So now I'm looking at the cube here.
I think for sure I'll be definitely cubing
So-
this position. It's
so-
just whether it's a take or not.
So this is the 3 fundamental things of backgammon: race, threat, and position. And black is ahead in all 3 here. But Frank has taken. I have a sort of rule of thumb: if my opponent's only got a 2-point home board, I'm nearly always taking. But obviously that's dependent on the exact position of the checkers. Here he's made an extra point, and if he fans now, this would definitely be probably double drop. He's fanned again. So.
Yeah, I would have actually taken a bit more time on that position. He's leading
Yeah.
11-8.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a 2-point board, it is with the 5-point. I would have really taken more time on the decision there.
So with the 6-5, he's been aggressive. He wants to get his gammon back that he lost 2 games ago. The alternative play was 21 to 10. 1-4 is a great roll for white. So I'd have looked a little bit longer at that 6-5 because again there are only 9 checkers in the attack zone. So what was the 6-5? Was it right? Yeah.
Okay.
So another 4 required, which he rolls. 1-3. So 5-2. He's probably going to anchor on his opponent's 5-point and drop the 2 down, unless anybody can see anything more exciting.
It's the right way to go.
Oh, there's more exciting.
Yeah, 6-4. Okay, so white has sort of recovered from the initial attack after that cube, and
Oh,
now with that
that's
3-2, he's locked up everything.
That's a lovely shot for Frankie. Tidies up. Nice security in the position.
So black is Aurelien is going to have to give up one of his anchors. He obviously can't play a 4-5 back game. He hasn't got the timing. This is correct. So he holds the key point, gets some spares into the outfield with the idea of making some new outerboard points. So everything here says safe play rather than bold. Everything points towards 13 to 8, just holding the position. Why would you kill? This is killing a checker. You don't kill checkers. Right? This is going nowhere. It is of no value. Just bring the checker down.
Well, it's killing and actually stripping at the same time here, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about the bar?
No. Why give the 6 and 7 shot? For the added value, the 11 point is doing a great job, I think, holding the 2 checkers on the 20 point.
I like
He
this
can
play.
release it later. I think this is the right play. 1-1. That was not that wonderful, but cocked. 6-3. Ooh. Obviously he's not going to give up 20 point. 6 down doesn't look right. I would come out and safety the block on the 11 point. Yeah.
Yep.
So again, for Frank to hit, he has to give up one of his key points. So always look at exactly what your opponent is going to have to give up in order to execute a hit. So here he's got the choice of making the 3-point and maintaining a lead in the race, or clearing his midpoint with a hit. I'm not sure about this.
I prefer making the
I would make
3-point
the
here.
3-point.
Oh, running off the anchor.
A bit early for that as well, I think. But
Slight preference
2,
for the 3.
6, yeah. Black is keeping all his checkers in play again. Black has cubed. He can only win by executing excellent strategy with his dice. Ooh. So
What have you got?
this is
3-1?
3-1. So I don't think he gives up the anchor at this point. I think that's way too big. He makes the bar.
I think this is the right way to go.
You guys.
Carter gets another play right.
What was it?
3-1.
3-1.
Okay, bar
Yeah.
point, bar point.
So 6-4. It's ugly.
6-4 black.
Either clears. It's not running off the anchor. He can't run the rear checker. His options are limited.
I think he's got to make
the bar and
and then
drop
think
it
about
now,
the 4. I think dropping it down.
because the
Yeah.
other 4s don't go anywhere. It's just one of those limited plays.
Yeah, I think clearing the mid looks good here.
It's not so much as good, but it's the options are severely limited. I
Well,
mean,
when he
Well,
hits,
good
he
in this
breaks off
position.
the anchor.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's made a 4 prime. If he hits with a 5, unless he rolls 6-5, he's not going to get both guys out.
Yeah.
He'll then have some chances to hit against the single checker if it gets hit. So
Again, if you look at a move like 8-2, 7-3 here, which is legal, but the checkers are then nowhere near where they belong. Every one of your outfield points is stripped, and you've got nothing to do next time. So, of course, he makes that play. I hope dearly that it's wrong.
yeah, I'm not so keen on this. I
4-1.
hope XG agrees.
The 6-4, so that's
Yeah,
the
okay,
6-4.
I have it. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an error, but it might not be a massive error.
Okay, 4-1 for Frank.
He's again, Frank is limited in what he can do with the 4-1, so he might as well take the tempo hit. It's either that or just going to the, yeah. Surely this is the correct ace if he's hitting with the 4.
Yeah.
So 5-3.
Now, awkwardness
It's
again.
getting ugly.
It is. Now he's
Not too much choice. I suspect he will enter on the 22 point and come down to the 8 point,
yeah.
just because all the other 3s are just horrible. So remember here that Frank playing white owns the cube. So just sometimes you forget you own it.
Yeah, I think Frank is just waiting here, hoping for the double
Yeah.
3s, double 5s, double 6s. Scamper out of there.
5. It's neat.
Yeah. And
But
this is
that checker, spare checker on the 3 point, what's called a dilly builder, it's got nowhere to go other than the ace point, so its options are limited. So, now here's a choice. What's the race? The race is very close. So, he could have looked at coming off the anchor, because he's probably going to have to come off soon, but 6-3, that's good. The 6 is forced. It has no choice but to play 8-2, in which case the only logical 3 is to play 8-5. Now he can afford to run off the anchor, probably with relative safety. It's not the best, but
I'm not
why do
sure.
these people never roll the right rolls? Okay.
I think that is right.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. This
Frank's
is again back to the conversation we had earlier. People give up anchors too soon. 3-1. Again, can't move the checkers on the far side of the board. Would have been one dead checker. So even if he makes the ace point, one of those other 2 checkers is taking no part in this battle. Surely he's not going to play 3-2. Right. Okay. Still thinking. 4-2. Now can I come off the anchor?
No.
No?
I
Can't.
still wouldn't come
Come
off.
off
I think
the-
either
really?
he's killing one checker
What do you?
or he's clearing the 8.
Well,
There's no, I think he's okay. He's holding the cube. He's got an 11-8 lead. He really doesn't want to give
Okay.
black an opportunity to
okay.
attack
So
him.
at a point in time, I come off anchors. I would come off here because I don't like this structure.
Make the 4 point.
I'm not sure.
What?
It's alright.
is the right play. I hate backgammon sometimes. Okay, so 5-1.
But this is not a rollout.
No, no.
What did he have in the final?
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
it's
a
obvious,
5-1.
obvious.
And then 6-5.
Okay, this is
So he's got a hit.
Ooh.
Oh, now it's
Three-
much more
three-
dangerous.
Three blocks, 5-point board.
Ooh, his only other option is to play safe with 8-3, 8-2.
Gammon Central, if he gets hit and he dances, I think he'll think
So-
about this.
Always remember when we're looking at XG here, we're looking at it on a very simple evaluation. Quite often when you do a rollout later and look at the position in depth, then the correct solution changes. And what I've noticed over the years that quite often things that
Boom!
takes one level become a huge drop on a rollout. So I still would have played 4-2 running out, but there you go. He's now fanned, and Black could get his gammon back.
He's looking in desperate trouble here.
So the 3 comes surely down to attack, and you think about the ace, and you keep the flexibility of the rear checkers, or do you allow a terrific double 4? I think given that he's got lots of escaping numbers, I would do this.
I think so. It protects against the Joker double 4.
6-5. So ideally he would like to hit and swing the extra build around. Okay, so now I come out with a 5 and down with a 3. You come out with a 5 now?
The 2 in the air.
I think you should look at it just because of the bad double 6. Double 3's not so hot.
Again, XG has taught us that those little 3-point primes can be incredibly annoying. Yeah, the XG didn't like the play, but it's paid off so far. Now he's going to come out with a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, needs a super
Needs
Joker.
desperately needs a 4. Not that
That's a
4. 3-1, not a good 4. 4-2. Okay.
And there's the closeout.
So we're sort of in 85% gammon territory here, barring a freak shot as well. So he's got to come out with a 5 to avoid bad double 3s and double 6s, and then just play 3-2. It leaves him one bad roll next time, which is double 1. That's a lot better than playing with the checker on the 15 point and leaving a bad double 3, which actually cracks the board in 2 places. Double 2 is good, just think how to position them and now protect against double 6. Can he protect?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes across with both. No, this is wrong.
Yeah, this is a bad double 6.
This is a good double 6.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if you can play double 6, you can play anything as a basic rule. 6-4. That's a really nice structure. Really good structure. He'll be very unlucky to leave a shot now. So given his opponent needs 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 17 crossovers to save the gammon, he can play this safe, which I think is correct. Long arguments as to whether you should have a spare on the 3 or the 4 point here. I've changed my thinking. I now try to get that spare on the 3, but that's a tiny minor technicality.
Maybe he's looking a little bit at the
Yeah.
backgammon here.
Yeah.
you never know.
Backgammon's certainly
That's
possible.
certainly probable.
6-2, this is nice. Okay, 6 shot leaving numbers, but after that he's looking good. 6-5, that's a great roll for white. It gives him at least a little hope.
Is it?
Not a lot. Oh, and here's the shot.
Yeah.
Say the
Yeah,
final wouldn't be the final without leaving a shot. No, you haven't had many late shots hit. Is he going to change the...
He's building up to it. I reckon he's gonna.
Here we go, here we go.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Gone.
Feeling
Go
the
on.
shaking. He wants to hit this 4.
He's missed. This is another wrong 4.
Yes, well spotted, Chris.
Oh, play this one totally safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're in the 0.1% win chance for white. It's still there.
Yes.
6-1 from black, fan from white, double
Set.
from black. No, well, this isn't going to happen. Here we go. We've got,
No,
got
see
the ace.
thing?
Stays
See
out.
the theory?
Black
out,
rolls
what
a
a big
double.
double.
He stayed out.
Oh!
Right, now,
Set.
come on, roll a
Set.
double.
Here's the set.
Prove that I can predict. Oh,
no excitement.
disappointing. Now we the other variation. He fans for a week and loses. No. Okay.
No. Okay, it looks like
So,
just.
so he's conceded the gammon. That's
Oh.
12-8 to Aurelien.
And the swing finally swings back in
Yeah.
Bonnet's favor.
So If I analyse this match after, despite all the joking amongst the commentary team, I'd look at the 4-2 play where he didn't roll out. The XG evaluation at 1 ply made his play correct, but I don't know, long experience says I think he should have come out. So, anyone want to bet?
I'd like to look at it again, but I would look at the cube. I'd look at the take on the cube as well. I'm not sure about the take.
So long ago.
It is, but
Okay, so
The take was
5-2,
wrong.
he's leading, so this is the right
The take
play.
was wrong. The take was wrong.
okay. So we're hearing that it was a
The take was wrong.
okay.
So he should not have accepted that cube.
Very wrong.
It was good.
Just too much gammon danger. When it goes well for the other side, he was better off.
Okay, now he's just played a 6-4, and technically that's the wrong play with a 6-4. Again, this is another computer learning. The right 6-4 in response to a 5-2 with a split is to hit on the 3-point. It is only a very small equity difference, but the advantage is you take half the roll away from your opponent. So no one would have played that move until the year 2000, basically. So yeah, a small learning, but useful.
This is actually the most common misplay I see amongst
Yeah.
all the best players and strong players around the world is this number itself on an
Yeah.
opening 5-2.
Yeah.
I actually spoke about it with Phil Simborg in commentary yesterday.
Okay. So 6-1, looks like he should just make the bar. Yeah. So what do we got here? 5-2, so the 2 is clear, hitting.
Hitting twice?
I hit twice because I've got 11 checkers in the attack zone. This gives him a lot of replies that are useful. I would have utilised my checkers. What do I know? I'd have been hit either way. 3-2. Probably enough that he wants to take the anchor here, just because I can't see a good way of playing the 3 if he doesn't anyway. I would just slide 11 to 9.
Yeah.
4-3. So I'm probably going to make the 10-point, and then I'm going to think choosing between 6-2 and 24-20. But black has no board. He's not favourite to point on the 5-point. Again, I want my checkers in play. I'm going to come up 24-20.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. If black can roll double ones, nice lights out number. 6-1 is not a nice lights out number. Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
this is a real,
Wow.
this is a thinking play.
Okay.
How about out?
Stepping out and make 9?
Stepping out. I'm making the 9 and then I'm thinking about the 6, because if I hit with the 6-5, I don't have a useful 6. So again, we've seen a lack of stepping out. What's the difference? Is there a big difference on that 6-1?
Like this.
Yeah,
And then sliding. Yeah.
should have come up. So the Cartomatic I'm coming out now sort of method is really coming to the fore in this match. The players aren't making the plays.
Don't you guys want to win?
Sure.
So we have a comment from Phil. He's now in the cinema and he can't hear you, Eric.
Okay,
Right.
Eric, please speak up and get closer to the mic.
I will do. Will do.
So 3-2. This is not easy. Oh, I don't think you need to do that. He's looking at the hit and the double slot. I would just accept the fact there are times when you don't do this. I would just start 2 more points.
This looks a bit too exuberant for my liking.
Basically, after the race is dead level. So why would I give my opponent the chance to put another checker behind when it's very difficult to execute the blitz?
So would you just unstack here, Chris?
The commentators don't like this play, the pick and pass play. It was a big error. Okay, so. Oh, double 4. We haven't seen that
Once
for a
you
while.
start, you can't
Yeah,
stop.
it was due. We were due a good double 4. Okay. 5-6 runs away.
Yeah.
So that's a nice roll for Frank. You could do with a 5-6. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's an easy game when played well.
Long distance hit.
Long distance hit. It's not going to do anything else. He is going to do something else.
Oh no! Now he realizes.
He's going to work this out in a minute.
Yeah.
People miss long distance hits occasionally, particularly again if you're learning the game. You don't necessarily have the vision to find the play. Aurelien's too experienced for that. And he fans. Ooh, nothing yet. Bit early, I think. 2 checkers still behind a good prime.
Sorry, what?
Normally, you quickly make the 5 point with this, and then you notice the other 2 checkers are on the,
On the
9
9
point.
What about the 3 point?
You could have made the 3 point. Oh, now
Fan.
it's more interesting.
Yeah, 3 point.
Now the race, he's 20 pips up in the race. Race threat position, all in Black's favour. This is beginning to look like a pass.
I think this is a huge double.
I think this is huge double and pass.
Yeah, with
Little
the
party
score, the position, no board, 3 point board. He's threatening to escape or make a point in board. This is just too dangerous for White to take.
Don't forget, it's a match. Also, look at the scores. The match is to 17. If Black were to win a gammon here with the cube on 2, he gets to Crawford with his opponent on an odd number, which is precisely what you want to do. So the gammon risk here is way too high for White to take this cube. He should just pass and move on.
Agreed.
Side bet on this one. That is going to take.
You think? Okay, Carter thinks he's going to take if Aurelien doubles. Frank's doubling strategy has been variable a little bit. Sometimes he's been very aggressive, sometimes he's been very passive. So I'm not taking Carter's bet. Carlo? Has he doubled yet?
He decided already.
Yeah, we have vision of Frank in the playing room here. His body language says he looks like a man who's going to pass.
Yeah, but Frank's played poker before too, so like that's the kind of the and then insta snap.
Aurien's thinking very deeply here. I'm not sure what he's looking at. He's really looking at the numbers, checking the position, and finally, here's the cube.
Surely not. How are you going to win this? The trouble is when you have 1 checker back, you can't anchor, so your liability is huge. What was how big a drop was it? How big?
Oh,
The small cost.
100? Okay, yeah, a huge drop, particularly in the context of this match.
I'm not sure.
Or
I'm
what?
not sure.
Well done, Frank. Good drop.
40. It's a small drop.
Small drop, yeah. Probably a take for money then. Yeah? Probably a money take, that last position, surprisingly enough. 6-4, so you're leading 6-4. So now you have a choice. You don't make the 2 point, but sometimes people run away when they're leading. They want the simple game. But he's sticking to his basic strategy of 6-4. So out and split. 5-4. Ooh, we don't like that 5-4.
Okay. This
Whatever
is
else you do, I don't like that 5-4.
Gotta hit and give him a bad sense.
Yeah, precisely. Now he can make the 5 point. He's going to make the 5 point. Okay. So Black has a long-term solid asset. White has escaped 1 checker, which he's going to now have to play safely because of that asset in Black's board. Now any 6 from Black gives him a very nice position. 3-1. Ooh, so the 1 is going to be 6-5, and then he may as well cut down the shots from 24 to 13, which he does. And he's missed. Okay, so now we have each player has 1 checker back. Black has a slightly better structure. The race is pretty equal. With this play, he's going to make the 10 point and not have any loose blots. Okay. Right, now White needs something to improve his position, which he does. So Black's position has more potential for easily improving his prime.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Yes, just for instance, this 6-1, I just happened to notice he had good potential.
Okay.
They
he's
can make the
thinking
4
about
point.
the
I
4.
think you make the bar point here. Bar point gives you a broken prime, and I love broken primes.
No shots as well.
No
and
shots,
future
yeah.
potential to double. I prefer this play.
Ooh, good number. 5-3 runs away.
I think with impending doom.
Voting against Black rolling a 4 or a 1. So this is a key moment. He's got the 1.
The moment has been called.
Think about the two.
Lift.
You lift one of them. Which one do you want to lift, Carter?
The one on the 9.
I lift the one on the 9,
I lift the 1
Living-
9 as well.
leaving only one shot.
Lift on the 10 then.
Oh,
Because then you have good 5s.
Yeah, good split vote.
Your 5s are, look at your 5, how your 5s play anyway.
Okay.
Your 5s are good anyway.
Let's see.
10 to 9. Yes.
Ooh, look at
yeah.
you.
Did we win?
No, Mick did.
You lost.
Okay.
Lost. Get up.
We lost the bet.
Oh,
I said 9 to 7, yeah?
the 9.
9 to 7?
That's
Yeah, that's what I said. Lift the 9. 2-5. Okay. No need
Okay.
to. Despite the impending attack, he's going to hit with the ace.
Yeah, it was just, this is very serious for
Ooh.
Frank here. I know why he's hit there.
Ooh.
He didn't want to be facing the
Yeah.
potential cube at
Yeah.
this score, so he takes immediate
Ooh,
action.
2-1.
So instead,
So he's going to hit with the ace and play 9 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this play.
Now white needs a really good number, or to quote Mr. McGreal, QB is coming. This is
That's
not
really
a good
bad
number.
number.
This is a horrendous number.
This is very, very bad.
This game should be over.
I don't think the cube's coming.
You don't think he's coming? You think he's going to play on?
Backgammon.
You can look at
Yeah.
this. You can look at
So
this.
again,
You
to
can roll one more.
yeah,
Yeah.
to reiterate what we said earlier, people quite often double positions that are too good to double.
There is no way he's going to take this cube.
No.
It's just far too dangerous.
He's going to cash. Even Frank is going to drop this
It's a
one.
bust. It's a big bust.
Yeah.
He dropped.
Okay, and
So
now
break is coming.
now we're going to have a little changeover.
Yeah, he's coming.
Stepping in,
And
we
also
have
break.
Carter Mateague and Mick Larson. Thank you, Chris Bray.
Thank you, Eric McAlpine.
And we're on official break. See
Okay, we're back from break, and this is Carter Maddock from the U.S., joined with Mick Larson from Denmark, and we will be bringing the end of this match and hopefully going on to a second match. But right now, Aurelien Bonnet has the lead and has the momentum.
You think this is going to be the last game?
I feel like what's going to happen is Frank's going to cube early, and he's going to get gammoned on the cube. And I'm not trying to curse Frank. It's just I've seen how these things play
I'll
out.
give you 2 to 1 on $100 that doesn't happen.
All right.
You got it?
Yes.
All right, bucks, not
Yeah, I
euros,
understand.
not shekels.
We have also seen a pattern that when they took a break, the other guy came back and won 6 points. So
Right.
maybe that will happen again.
Frank needed to switch the momentum. He's just been getting murdered. So now it's what do you like with the 6-2? Slotting the 5?
Oh, well, these are tricky. I've seen, funny moves like 13-7, 24-22 being correct. But let's see what.
Okay. We're looking at the eval on the side, but now we have a 4-5. That's also interesting.
All close, very close.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we don't have time for plus plus. How about the 5-4? Do you want to do the double tiger? Oh, I think maybe just make the ace here.
I think sometimes you need to make the ace in those positions, but it just looks really it looks awkward. And here I think you need to hit because there's just too much ammunition in the zone for Frank. So
yeah, he's going to be building way too easily. But the 2, is it down or is it up? Because I like kind of down, but I don't know if I want to expose another block because Frank has got a little bit of a blitz if he comes in decently.
the advantage of going up is that you can create a high angle afterwards. You will most likely get hit back. So I actually like that play.
4-3. And here we are. So anchor or hit. Frank's aggressive and Frank's losing.
And hitting is creating a duplication of the 5s, so it looks correct.
Yeah. And now, yeah, a bad entry, and I feel like Frank's gonna whip this cube.
I think it's still too easy to take, considering he has 3 checkers he needs to bring home.
6-5.
He could hit.
He could hit. And then look at all those checkers right poised in the right place.
What about slotting for you? I mean, you duplicate the 2s.
Yeah, I like that. Well, duplicating the 4s, but now his 6 is good. He's got a really good 6 that he didn't have before. 4-3. There's the 4. I think the 3 is down as well.
I agree.
Lifting? Yeah, there's a groan from the other commentators who are sitting behind us. Oh, and the fan.
Yeah, ugly.
So now you don't even really get to take advantage of how awesome that roll was.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a lot for Aurelien.
Bonnet. Let's just say Bonnet.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him to touch the cube in this position because, I mean, it's dangerous. You don't want Frank to take the cube because then it's gonna be reshipped really fast.
Right, and look at this, 4-6. Now, do you give him 3s and 5s? I think, because you can't look at all the wood that's coming on you when he comes in. He's coming in on the 4. So if you don't run out, you've got 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s all blitzing you on the 4 point.
Yeah, I agree. You need to step out.
Yeah. But a decent roll from Frank here, and he's definitely going to be thinking about the cube. And then I get
And there it is.
double 5s. I didn't know he'd get it so good that it would be almost impossible to take.
And make 3 point and 1, and then down to the 8 with the last
Right.
one.
Protect a little bit.
And then we could face a cube.
Right, so what do we want to see the cube? Like a 4-2?
2-6.
No, 2-6 hits. Yeah.
1-3.
So it comes in with the 1,
So now we need to cube.
the 3 down, and this will be a double. Yep. And then my prophecy is going to come true. So here's Frank.
Let me run downstairs and
He's
stop him.
waiting. He's waiting.
Let
The
me stop
cube's
him.
coming.
Ouch.
Okay. Or this is a take.
Please pass. You've got to bet on this.
This is a take.
You can go and run naked.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I mean,
this is a take.
it's most likely, well, I would take it personally. You still have 2 checkers that you need to carry around from the 24 point.
Right.
You have a little duplication on the 3s as well, but it looks scary, it certainly does. He has a lot of checkers in the zone, Frank, so it's a really good cube.
Yeah, and that stiffness of the 5 checkers on the 6 and the stripped 8 point doesn't do you a lot of favors either. But some of the numbers you want have that 3 in it, 5, 3, 3, 2, that you really want to use to hit that checker instead of making the 4 point or the bar. So we will see what happens. But I want him to take. Come on, Bonnet, take.
So you would
Just
both
take
take
this.
cube though?
I would hesitate by taking, but I think I would end up taking it, yes.
I would pass it.
Yeah, look at the score there, guys.
We are. So even if you get gammoned here, you'll be what down? It'll be 2 away, 3 away. But if you can turn this around, and I don't think the gammon's that scary.
He passed.
Ah, boo.
Ha ha!
Haha. All right. And was it a take or a pass?
It's a
correct.
pass, but I show you the exact numbers.
Ooh,
Very
borderline.
Yeah.
So it's
Borderline.
so we can
Roll it out.
You'd have to roll it out.
Yeah.
0.01.
Okay. Well, we're
one.
back now. It's
5-2.
good old 4 away, 3 away.
You get closer to the mic.
Oh, I know my voice carries. We're worried about mix. All right, so Frank maybe took that break, and now he's got a little bit of his momentum back. He finally got a point back. He's 5 away, and he needs to win this match to force another match. Okay. Look at him. He's thinking over the board. 4-6. Not the
And
response.
I think we could possibly see a cube already now. I mean, he has a strong position. He semi-escaped one of the checkers. He
Yeah.
has a double shot actually on the checker in the outfield.
Yeah, 6s, 3s. He's willing to raise. Here it is.
Ooh.
Nice.
Good cube.
Yeah.
Really good cube.
Like this
Really
cube.
like it. You know, your take point though for the leader here is lower than you'd think because it doesn't hurt that much to lose 2 points instead of 1 point
Right.
at this score. So you take more cubes here than you normally would, you'd think. And he took it. Maybe he heard me.
Right. So do we have the double or nothing on the he gets gammoned on this?
No, I just want your money. I got your money. Why should I ever bet you again?
Oh, you know why.
I can't help myself.
Right. Oof. Okay, Frank. Frank's feeling a little of his momentum. These are the dice we saw when he pummeled Trabi. So. And
It's
now-
not really a hit you want to make because you put another check on the ace point, but you have to do it.
Look at this. Frank gets even stronger. So you need a free double 3s.
Good roll.
Yeah, unstacks. But any response 6-3, 6-1, 3-1 makes the bar, and
6-2 hits.
6-2 hits.
Come on, Carter. You
Frank has gotten it back. Yeah, Frank has gotten back his rhythm. 2-4.
Oh.
Well, you've got now a 3-point board instead of that last crappy one. Where
Gotta
else
hit
is the
them.
4?
Yeah, gotta
You
hit,
gotta
yeah.
hit.
So again, back roll.
4-3 high anchor for Frank, and now this is
That is a massive entry. I mean,
Yeah.
now his 2 checkers are safe there for.
Oh.
However, if you can get your double 6s to work correctly for you. Okay, come on. One more out and one more in. That's kind of forced, right? I'm missing a checker. Dope.
Oh, this actually could be, yeah,
I would step out and play to 3.
Yeah, I think so too.
Then I would try to see if I could establish the 13 point afterwards.
This seems now you've acceded all this control.
Yeah.
Is this 5-1? 5-2?
You were right, Nick.
Yeah.
Pretty big mistake.
Well, we'll see if it costs Frank. Frank's been being able to pull these out earlier, but Bonnet's kind of got his momentum back, so
I think you need to stack them up on the 8 point. You
Right.
don't want another checker around, do you?
Nope. 4-1. Ooh.
Hmm.
The 2-point, the anchor, the out. I think I want to just get out. I want to fly. I want somebody to fly off his mid. I mean his bar, I should say.
This one is tough, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree you want to get out because you want to have something to move afterwards in the outfield, but you don't want to be hit here because then you totally lose the outfield control.
Right. But he's already kind of given it up by moving those checkers. So
I think I would play 7-2.
7-2.
And I was told from the back that it's a big blunder. But
Hey,
Yeah. Okay.
that's why we play this game, because what looks so clear for some things is just so horrific the other way.
put the checkers where you want them.
Right.
That's the idea, but it looks a bit scary because if you get hit, then it's costly.
Oh, 5-1. Make the 2-point. Yeah. Okay, so Frank's got a little bit of work, but he can get safe with a decent set. Double ones is not a decent set. What about making the 5s bad here? The 6, he's got a playable 6. Maybe coming down, losing your mid, and just making some 5s do cracky stuff.
3, 5, 1, 4, 2.
Okay. I feel like this is going to be rough anyway. 3-2. I think you give him an ace shot.
Yeah, play to 13 must be the right
Right.
idea. You're not so afraid of getting hit here because he's gonna lose his 13 point then.
Right, and then you've got to probably have a direct 6 at him. So, and you don't have the spares anymore. You need to move things around.
Speak up. Gone a bit quiet.
Did I go quiet? Oh my God, that's the first time I've ever been told I'm quiet by Chris Bray. So I'm gonna have to speak a little louder. Okay, 6-2.
2-point.
I think the 2-point seems like the right theory here. You want to make a board a little bit better, get him a little more scared if he tries to hit you with an ace. What are the other options?
Hitting loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, hitting loose would be too much.
Too much. Too many blocks.
All right, but some 7s and some. That's a 4-2.
Ace 4. Is it?
No, it's a 4-2.
Oh, 4-2. Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
So-
you need to step up
Yeah.
here, step out.
Step out. Step up and out. Okay. And now it wasn't as easy as it looked like it was going to be. So Frank needs a decent roll. 3-2. Slotting the 3. 3-2. Hey, you're wearing your glasses. All right, double 5s. This is the number that destroyed Trabi, and it also destroyed Ralph Jonas that Frank rolled. It's funny that now his opponent has just rolled it, and this is just
It's payback.
it's exactly. The dice aren't supposed to have a memory, but sometimes it seems like what was golden for you before is now death for you.
So Bonnet is up 28 pips now.
Yep.
Of course, he cannot consider recubing as long as he has his 13 point, but
Right.
as soon as he has lifted his 13 point, then it's going to be a tough take to. I mean, it's hard to find what would it be, 15%
Right.
for Frank in a position where you're down more than 20 pips.
Right.
Okay.
2-1.
Yeah.
That seems fine.
15.5.
4-2. Okay. Frank wants to hold that midpoint. Oh, and 6-1 is helpful. But if either player rolls it next, they're going to have some issues. Yep. Okay. Can Frank find a miracle? 6-2.
You leave it?
I don't think you
I would look
can.
at leaving it.
Yeah, I would.
I think I would leave it.
Yeah.
I would have left it. It was right to leave it.
Where's the 2 go? It just keeps going on. Yep. Double 2s.
So are we getting close to a cube now, you think?
We're getting close, but then, I mean, you're giving him access to an 8 cube, which is for match. So, if Bonnet cubes here. Nope. Very playable.
Just because I was off commentary, that was a double 4.
Right. Yes, sorry to have ruined your favorite roll. All right, so.
So now he only has to clear the 8 point afterwards. So now we must be getting close
But
to a
how
cube.
difficult? You know how many
It is
times you
difficult.
roll the 6-4 crappy number that just all of a sudden everything goes crazy?
But you also need to hit it. It's not
Right.
enough just leaving it.
That's true. But you put this whole match on the line for it. I mean, this is a free match for Bonnet.
All right, Vic, you're cubing here?
I would consider it due to the fact you're up that many pips, but I would look at the numbers for sure before I make a decision.
Vic, you were right.
I would cube.
It was
Yeah.
a cube.
I would
I
definitely
don't
cube.
even know if it was a take.
Definitely. He's got 2 lines.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's glad he didn't with that roll.
Right.
He's got 2 lines. He's got a cube there.
He gotta go, yeah.
It was a double and a take.
Yep.
He had 17% and his
Yeah.
take
The
mark
take
was
has to be
15 and a half.
huge.
And the take must be bigger now because he left his. I mean, his 6 point is lost now. So now he has a
Oh,
shot.
here we are.
Do you hit or not?
You don't.
Gammons count double.
Yeah. Gammons are painful either way. All right. Frank needs a 3 here, or else his game is in severe jeopardy.
Oh!
And you don't get to the finals if you don't hit these
Wow.
shots.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
we
going to be a
would've-
3-point
We
match.
would have lost the match on this one.
Yeah.
And then we get the funny 3-away 4-away score.
Right.
Let them.
So it's funny, we're in the commentating booth and you just can't help. We're all huddled by one microphone, but you just can't help because this is exciting. Frank was dead, and then all of a sudden he gets the 3 and everyone has to chime in because, yeah, it's amazing. How many times you're playing a game and these 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1, 3,000 to 1 permutations come up. So right now, Frank is just looking to just get his 2 points, get it to 14 all, 3 away, 3 away. It was Frank's taking his breaks at the right time.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's coming back with full of energy and fire.
I think he gets a kiss from Scarlett, pats on the back from all his friends. It's something really nice when you get that kind of energy fed. What would be sick is if, oh no, that's not going to happen. Oh, there's actually another 6 sequence. The fan, oh no. Okay, so this is just going to be, it's going to be 3 away, 3 away.
So do you think they are thinking about the money when they're playing now, or do you think it's only a matter of trying to win the trophy?
I think,
Double 5, guys.
oh, he's all of a sudden there's life. Yeah, well, that gap on the 4 is probably going to pay. Oh, the gap that now Frank had. 5-4 hits the gap.
It's okay, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's even. So as long as Frank doesn't hit the 3 too much, or make a new hole, well, 1 set from Bonnet could really pay off for him. Okay, are we seeing? Nope. That's not a problem. It's
Next
the
one.
next one is, yes. 3, 4, okay. For this to go south, Frank needs to roll the 3, and then the set is, oh, okay. Won't get the reship in. Any set pays off huge. Okay. Frank needs.
Oh,
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So yeah. So here we are, 3 away, 3 away.
Frankie played a really, really good game. He played like 1.3 in this
Excellent.
game. So
You want to shuffle?
Sure, we can. Okay, I'm gonna let in Phil because he can't stand still
I
and
can't
not
keep my mouth
talk.
shut is why they gotta let me in. This is too exciting. This is a match. This is very exciting. 3 away, 3 away. For those of you who are not really familiar, the take point here, the live cube take point is 25%. So you double a little bit faster, and the gammons are only worth about 0.5 after the double. So you would double a little sooner than you would in a normal score. This is when the match gets really exciting, as that last game was. That last game, most of us would have doubled correctly. We would have taken, and the match would have been over. So, very exciting. Very even game so far. Split? Yes. Listen to Mr. Michi. Thank you, Michi and Mochi, for all you've done in your lectures and writing. You've helped us a lot. Cock dice.
You need to make the 3 point.
It's a very fine roll. Do you hit and make 2 innerboard points? Make the 5
I would make 2 inner points.
You want to make the 5 point, but if you can hit and make a point, that word and means a lot. That means you're doing 2 things. I like this play.
That would be my play as well.
Well, now I'm not sure anymore then.
It's also good to unstack the
Yes.
6 point, but it just looks like it's not connected, that you make the 2 point and you have the 8 point.
I kind of like the 2 point just because you have so many builders for the 5.
Yeah, it's a valid point. I'm not sure 100%. I would make it like this, but the disadvantage is you
I
give
vote-
away your 8 point.
This is Chris. I vote for that play, but let's see what's.
This
Yeah,
play,
that's correct.
it's fairly close though. Okay.
I think just make the 2. This 2. It'd be nice to dream you could blitz here.
Oh.
Aye.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
That's a big
We
play.
don't like that.
That's a blunder. That's a
You got
blunder.
away with it though.
Yeah, you make the 2 point.
It's
You
an error.
you-
It's
An error, not a
still
blunder.
there, yes.
just an error, not a blunder. Okay.
But this is his concept now.
Yeah. And he cleans it up with not that.
That's a good roll.
That is a
Very good roll. Very good roll. Anything that makes a point. You can see how anxious Frank is. He's ready. He's jumping at the dice.
It's actually worth considering jumping out, because you're duplicating the 4s. He has both stripped 11, stripped 13 point. But you also open a little up for blitzing potential.
There he goes.
And now.
She likes the
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have another one where you don't.
43.
Well, you.
Mm.
Oh,
You like that 4.
I don't. You love the 4. The hit isn't the horrible thing here.
So he should at least consider it. I think he will.
I was.
He didn't even like look at it
I wasn't
on the
sure.
board.
I wasn't sure. I was thinking about the hit.
I think that's got to be right.
No.
You want the high anchor here.
You're in the game forever with that high anchor.
Is this a 6-3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Not a pretty play.
obviously they would need more energy.
He play-
either 2 down or 2 from the 11 point.
They would need more energy.
I like 2 from the 11 also because you keep your midpoint.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you can.
this is a tricky play. I mean, it's you have to leave 2 bloods, so it's
Yeah.
just a matter of figuring out where you want to make them from.
Well, you like
I like this play.
the entire match could hinge on these plays. I mean, the excitement of when you're playing is really tough when you start getting down to these kinds of plays. Is that the right play? Looks like the right play.
It's an error.
It's an error? Okay.
Single block.
Oh, just a single blot. Okay. You still worry about gammons. Double 2.
You played 2 so far, right?
I make the prime.
I'll make
Instead
them.
of-
I would
Yeah.
make the 9 point
You
also.
gotta make the 9 point.
Keep
yeah.
the 13
Yeah.
point. It puts a little
Sure.
pressure on the other 13 point.
This one doesn't look hard to me. Who's favored here? This is tough. This is really tough. I guess 1 back versus 2 back tells us something.
Yeah, but on the 5 versus on the ace. it's
Yeah,
kinda-
this is tough. Oh, that's a good roll.
And then hit. I think you need to hit and then just play to 7. kind of go all in.
I play it big, absolutely, and play to the 7, get the coverage.
If he fans here, then you ship the cube over, and then he has a tough decision.
I think it's a pass. I think if he fans, it's double pass, would be my guess. But at least a tough decision. You're right about that. These are big plays to make. This is the lot on the line right here. I don't blame you for taking time, and they both have plenty of time on the clock to make these plays. 8 minutes and 6 minutes. It's a lot of time with this few games left. Of course, I always hit here because it's fun. Dean Munch, hitting is fun.
You also, I mean, also some of the entries where you get hit and you come back in, you can establish the 7 point with
Yeah.
like 1, 6,
He
2, 6,
didn't
5,
hit.
6.
Was hitting right. Yeah, the hit was right. Okay.
No,
5
it was
is-
incorrect.
Oh,
to hit.
incorrect. Okay. Well, that's why they're there and we're here. And now he's thinking about the cube.
Right.
I don't see a cube here. 25% take point. It's an easy take. What about you, Mick? What do you think?
I would not cube. I think there's too much work to do. You have to both escape 2 checkers, and I mean, of course,
Ooh.
you can blitz,
This is big.
but I
But you
would
might
wait.
get a drop, you know? Well, your opponent never makes a mistake when you don't cube. That's one of the basic principles about these kinds of positions. You might get a pass.
It's a good cube. It looks like it's kind of in the middle of the doubling window, and
Uh-huh.
it's also a clear take.
So because you didn't think it was a cube and I wasn't sure it was a cube, we would certainly take this cube. That
I
part
would
was
certainly
easy.
take it.
And I had the same problem you had. I was counting market losers and anti-market losers. There's some bad rolls here as well. What if you're forced to hit loose and get hit back?
Hmm.
Now this is where you really get the tension building. This is where your adrenaline is really flowing and you really don't want to make a mistake.
But he has plenty of time. He still has like almost 6 minutes, so
Uh-huh.
it's worth spending
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
of minutes on this one.
Doing the right thing. There's just no reason to do anything quickly here.
Well, that's Chris. He has 11 absolutely wonderful numbers.
Yes, he took. Good for
Yeah,
him.
right. Okay, he took.
Good.
Let's see what happens.
6-1.
6-1, just a mediocre roll. Didn't do anything very good for him. And of course, black wants a 6. Wants to get out of there. He's going to be attacked.
Yep.
Comes up to make 5s and 6s. Not good for white. And white
Double
rolls
twos.
double 2s.
Love backgammon. That's a great game.
That hurts. That hurts.
And now
This could be a bit gammonish now, if he can escape the 2 checkers.
He needs 5s and 6s to get out of there. If he doesn't roll 5s and 6s in the next couple of rolls, things could get tough. Could get very tough for Frank. The odds of rolling a 5 or a 6 is 20 out of 36 rolls. He's favored every time to do it, but you and I both know how often you don't. There he goes. There he goes.
there he goes.
I think, yeah, just move it on. You have double 4 is really good. It makes the ace point, so leave the checkers as you have them on the other side.
Whoop. If he closes the board, there's a lot of gammons here, and it's goodbye match. If he can get this board closed, he's favored to get a gammon. I don't know what the odds are. What are they, Chris? You know this stuff.
I think he needs to move to
I
13,
think
yeah.
we're talking
Yeah, it needs to be
25%,
closed out, and then it'd be up around 34, 35, 40%.
35, 40% gammons.
With 7 out.
Yeah,
8 out.
Ooh,
7 plus the checker, yeah. So he's trying to put his checkers in position to close the ace point.
But you don't slot them.
You don't slot, you'd slot against a 1-point board, but not against the 3-point board. There's the 1, okay, we got action. Now hitting loose is gonna be a little bit more scary. Where's the 3? Slot the 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, put the checkers where they wanna be. Or as McGrill says, listen to the checkers and they tell you where they want to be. Great roll, close out.
So what are we saying? 35%?
A
Did you say
little
that?
less now, you got a
You've
checker in.
got a checker in, so
Okay.
probably somewhere between 25 and 30.
Yeah, about
This
20
is,
to,
this is
this is a good roll. He's got his checkers up high, you just don't want to roll a 6 here. Good, keeps the board closed. The longer
Yeah.
it's closed, you gotta take one off here. I don't care about the odd checker. When a gammon wins me the match in Cyprus in the finals, I'm peeling.
It doesn't win you, it wins you
Wins
the
you the
match.
match. That's right. I said wins you the match.
Not the finals.
Yeah, well, gets you to the finals.
This cannot be
Oh,
right.
no, you don't wanna let him in.
What? What's he doing?
This is
No,
definitely not right.
no.
It's just too passive. You need to.
Oh, no, you're giving up a lot of gammons with that play. I'm sure XG says it's right, did it? No, okay. You wanna keep your opponent on the bar as long as possible.
15% gammon. Minus 15.
It cost 15%.
Yeah.
Okay, the move cost 15% gammon wins, so that was
Yeah.
a
That's a
big
huge-
mistake.
That's a huge,
Yeah, because it lets him in so often.
winning a gammon, you're 100%, and if you don't win a gammon, you're only 75% to win the match. So it's a big difference to win that gammon.
Oh, and look at how this would have played if he'd still be in the air.
Yeah.
He'd be taking 2 off at the 5-point
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, that was,
You would have come in.
and that was not a hard play to see. We all saw that play. That may be a function of fatigue or stress.
Well, it's also you start seeing ghosts. You're like so close to the finish line, you start missing things that you would just normally instinctively do.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, he has an excuse. He never really took a lesson from me.
That's why he's
He's
in the finals.
final.
I
That was
guess-
too easy.
I
That was
guess-
like.
I guess
what
that
a-
was an easy pitch, wasn't it?
You set him up, we'll knock him down.
Threw it underhand.
Well, gammons are pretty tough now. He's gonna have to roll a couple doubles. Get very lucky here.
The first set just has to be 5s or better.
Yeah.
No,
This would be a horrible story.
no, it's not gonna.
That can't happen.
Forget it.
Won twice.
Forget it. It ain't gonna happen.
Hey, maybe he wants to try to win it.
He's saying it's still possible, and he's saying it's not. How is it? How is
Set
it
it
not?
up completely wrong.
How is it not? He should not have done that. He really shouldn't have.
Now,
He really shouldn't have mucked his checkers like that.
It's
Step
5-4,
on
right?
You cannot.
Review the tape.
But what doesn't
Not
get
about
off?
that.
What doesn't get off though? I mean, really, it is gin, isn't it?
you can text them. This
It's on the picture. Yeah, it's 5.
It's 5 and 4, but what roll doesn't get off?
Yeah.
He's right.
He can win it, because if white rolls 4
He
2
can
ones
win it.
and black rolls 4
Oh.
doubles.
That's
Yeah.
not about the gammons. It's about winning.
Of course.
My God, are you an optimist? That would never occur to me. Yeah, you're not supposed to muck your checkers until both players agree.
Okay, he went away already to. He's coming. Somebody's coming to us
Uh-huh.
for this little
With
picture.
that picture.
They're going to come up here.
But he's sending.
We're about 300 yards away from the playing room.
We're 4
down a-
miles underground
down
in a
a hall.
bunker.
Yeah, we're in a
you
bunker.
You can also tell them actually because they are.
If they
right
can
next
hear,
door.
there should be a checker on the 5 and 4. 2 on the ace, 2 on the deuce, 1 on the 5, 1 on the 4. If they can hear that, then they can make the change.
That is what white is.
That's white. And black can technically win this game. See, I would have conceded the game too.
I can't believe Frank stole that 0.003%.
He'll never live that one down.
This is so
Sorry?
good.
1 on the 5 and 1 on the 4.
Yeah, there it is. 1 on the 5, 1 on the 4.
Both IT guys are now.
What's the percentage? 0.1.
Yeah, 0 points.
0 point part.
It's not 100%. You can roll like 1, 2, 1, 2.
Black could just take one roll and then that would be it.
Yeah, one,
If he
Yeah.
doesn't roll a set.
That's true. He could roll a set.
15 pips, so it could be a 5 roll. So
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this isn't a chouette, you know, where you get to roll and like he's just.
Yeah, well, play
Yeah.
it as.
Yeah, also Frank doesn't miss.
Frank doesn't miss.
All these
How about a 3?
Right, I said if Frank doesn't.
If Frank
miss,
doesn't miss. Oh, okay.
then you can't even get to that.
Okay. They got it.
Gökhan.
All right, we got it.
Gökhan is the man.
Yeah. Announce Gökhan.
Now he's got to bring those checkers in.
Okay, that's. Now, but now they from Gökhan. Yeah,
He's got a picture of both sides. Okay.
We'll probably have the picture before the 5-4.
yeah. But with the arrows, so.
Yeah. No, 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 no. It's inside.
But it's like this. It looks like this.
Yes.
Send another picture. Another picture of just this. Like this, the whole thing.
Now he takes one off,
Yeah.
doesn't he? If it's like this,
Gökhan.
he takes one off, which is much worse.
Okay, I do.
Can't we call John Brumfield and tell him?
No, but it's
He
crucial.
doesn't have a mobile.
Oh, he
He's one of
doesn't.
the few human beings
John-
on the
It's
planet
crucial
to
'cause
have,
he takes one
not
off
have a
as well.
mobile.
John Brumfield
he-
doesn't
he
have a
took one off.
mobile.
No, but if
He's
he's
never had a
playing
mobile.
5-4 from there, it means he takes one
We
off.
got a guy named Herb Roman who just got his first smartphone and he doesn't know how to use it yet.
But it's much worse this way,
Yeah.
because he takes one off.
Here he can still win the gammon also, if that one is there. So he wouldn't have.
It's 0 offers.
Yeah.
Okay, Frank runs out now.
If you
This
play-
is
you can't play.
really a distraction.
Yes.
We can still talk actually.
Uh-huh.
Entertain the
Yeah, but we can't, this can't stand because officially he's got none off, right?
Let's look at the PRs in just this game so far, Mate, please. I think they've played pretty well this game. Let's see. Yes, this game has been played at 3 PR and 4 PR. So they really have played this game well. And if it sounds like we're being critical because we're coming up with this play and that play and this is wrong and that's wrong, let's not forget these guys are playing great and there's 4 of us and 2 of them.
There were 5 of us when I last
5 of
looked.
us, right. I don't usually count Carter when we're talking about skill.
one before
Sorry, Carter.
It's okay,
He's
you're
got the
only
trophy.
addressing the international champion, Phil, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
The reigning champ for another few minutes.
It might be another hour.
Might be another few hours. We have another match. All right, they got it. They got it.
Right.
Wouldn't it be something now if Black wins? Wow, that would be
I am
something.
going to buy everybody in this room
I'm
a
gonna-
Jeroboam of whiskey if Black wins this game.
I'm gonna put my money on one roll and he resigns the game.
yeah.
That's a good bet.
This is what
That's a good bet. One roll resign.
Did he get the
What's the
checker off yet?
Yes. No, no. This
what-
is good.
What odds he's given.
All right, start the clock.
All right. I like this.
He has to roll 2-1.
What if he misplays it and doesn't take a checker off? Okay.
Any difference?
All
This is
right.
how the
That's it.
sequence
So-
starts.
All right. Game.
Oh, that was really meaningful.
Now we mucked it.
Right.
Okay.
No, but this draws the attention to not resigning prematurely.
Right. Absolutely. It's a good lesson.
About resign errors.
I would have made the mistake of letting him resign there. I would not have realized I still could have won that game.
Frank is running.
Well, Frank is away from the table, and it doesn't say break. And Bonnet is sitting there waiting patiently. Interesting.
I don't know.
Switch. Oh,
on
mic
mic.
is off.
Now it's on.
All right,
Okay.
Chris Bray is back, and we're going to take this home. I think Carter's prediction that the game was going to end 2 games ago made me a little money, but this could easily still go. This could go 3 more games technically. So, Chris, we are at Crawford, and that means that the player nobody can double this game. That means that in order for Bonnet to win the match, he's got to win either a backgammon in 1 game or he's got to win 2 games in a row. His odds here are about 32%. I'm sorry, 25%.
Yeah.
25%. I'm sorry. That's 3 away, 1 away. So he's got to win basically 2 games. Slightly better because he might win a backgammon.
Yeah.
But so he's really got to win 2 games in a row. Otherwise, we're going to see another match for the championship, a 9-point match after this. So we're looking at a 75% chance for Frank here.
So gammons are basically meaningless from both sides from here. So they don't have to worry about that at least. The players are back.
And you play like double match point. What's different about double match point?
Then the opening rolls change. So if Aurelien rolls 6-4, for example, he would run. So double match point, you keep your checkers in play, fundamentally. You try to execute a simple running game if you're leading. And if you get something like a blitz and you fail with a double 5 blitz, here's a double 5, so obviously no blitz because black still has his ace point. Ooh,
Very
double
good
3.
roll. Very good roll.
So this looks like the 3-point, and he'll come up with the other 2. Yeah, all he needs to do is win this game. So winning a gammon, again, let's just repeat, is meaningless. And that's a very poor roll for white because he cannot activate the back checkers.
He has no 2, no good 2.
No, this
He's
is horrible.
got a stack. He's got
Okay.
a stack.
So hopefully he will make another inner point board. Yeah, makes the 5-point. He's
look-
got the option of making the bar, but surely making the 5-point is here because white now needs to get one of those 2 back checkers moving.
That's one of the ways the game has changed over the years.
So here he must split the back checkers, I think. Otherwise he just gives black an easy race home.
Mhm.
Yeah. And again, for white to lose a gammon is irrelevant, so this must be the right play. Ooh, something that makes the bar or the 4-point without giving up the 8-point would be lovely. Double 4. Oh, this is the commentator's role. I claim double 4. So now what?
If I needed
You
a
gonna
gammon, I would switch, but
I'm still hitting.
still hitting.
There's a
Hitting
white,
loose?
Yeah,
Hitting loose,
Yeah,
yes.
there's a white inner board block.
He's halfway there.
He's halfway there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this must be right. Yeah.
Good play.
Okay. Oh, not a good time to fan. Oh, one. Oh, he's just gonna make the ace point here.
Yep.
Yeah. Seems logical. Let's hope he doesn't roll another double 4.
Right.
I'm not fixated in double 4s in any way. I just want to mention this.
He needs a
We have an
7 or 11. I often need that when I'm in the casino.
Oh, how do you play this?
Well,
Double 3. He does have the option, obviously, of
the
covering the
switch?
block of the switch, but you tend to do that when you don't have a lot of work still to do. Here, he still has quite a few checkers to come out. Oh, there's a blot on the midpoint as well. Sorry.
yeah.
So
I think you
13 to 7, 9 to 6, and then split the back. And
Yep.
hope he doesn't roll double 2.
give yourself double coverage.
2.
This is the right way to play.
Yeah.
One checker at a time. When you roll doubles, do them one at a time. Do the plays you think you're sure of, and then keep looking for the next move. I have a saying about doubles. Look for a great play, and then find a better one.
So he actually only has to win a single game here because he only actually has to win a single game here. So he can protect against white's double 2, and I guess that's what he's thinking about. Normally you'd play this really quickly, I would imagine, and bring the builders into position.
I don't protect too much when you have that blot on the inner board, too.
Yeah.
That makes me feel more confident and not worry about the double 2 as much as playing aggressive.
But look at how that joker plays when he rolls the double 2.
Yeah, I know.
You hit
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
and make a 3-point board.
Yeah. I think he's going to
it's
play
okay.
21 to 18 and 10 to 7. That would be my guess. Let's have a look.
Is switching really that bad here?
Yeah,
5 to
because
2?
there's any 5 and he's sweating a lot.
I got you.
This way he keeps the prime.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 3. Okay, he's not worried about double 2. Okay.
I wouldn't either. I'd
Yeah.
make this play. Please.
At any
Somebody's
normal player.
They're both thinking double 2. One.
6, 3.
Oh, there we go.
How do we do on the double 2? Is that good? Yeah, that's fine. 3-2 makes a
And a cover.
board. Okay, so now he's got about 1.5%, 2% backgammons from here to win the match.
Oh, 6-1.
It's okay.
But you know, you don't even play for the backgammon until you got
No.
10, 11 checkers off. Then you think about it, because you certainly don't want to take a chance of throwing away
Double
the game.
5 plays well, double 4 plays well, double 6 is ugly, but there's nothing you can do. Oh, 6-5. Okay, so he wants to bring the other 2 checkers that are currently in the outfield to the 5 point and the 3 point, or the 5 point and the 4 point.
This is good. Double
Double
sixes
6
doesn't
safe.
hurt.
Yeah. Double 2. 1, 2. I would play to the 4 point here. The bear off works a little bit quicker. So now if you roll double 6, it's really ugly. Yeah, so I think you might have just noticed that. Ah, he's
But
going
he played it anyway.
He doesn't mind. Don't roll double 6.
Now he's
So
going
he's going to have to leave this is the other reason why he played to the 4 point on the last roll. He wouldn't have the problem he's now got.
You saw that right away, Chris. I would have found it, I think, after a while. Very good catch.
Years of practice.
Very good catch.
Okay. So I'd still think about the backgammon here. I'd play 5 off 4-2. Why not have the chance?
Yeah, because you have a bad
Yeah.
roll the other way
Yeah.
anyway.
And look at White's board, even if he gets a shot. He'd
Yeah,
still have.
that third checker.
Yeah. Now I clear the 6
Clear
point.
oh no, clear the 6.
Oh, this is not bad actually.
Really?
Yeah. He's still thinking backgammon. You can hear it
Oh.
from here.
Really?
The first set of 6s helps here.
Oh no!
Punished for the play.
6-1.
Peel it.
Oh, Pete, you take the extra checker off here because it's the same
How
number of
about the
shots.
play on the 5 point, Matty? Can we look at that? Do we have time?
No, that's right.
It was the right play?
Yeah, yeah.
Then he's not punished. I would
Okay.
have been punished.
Why is he
Well, look,
thinking?
he still has
what-
a 4-point board.
Yeah.
So Frank is taking a drink before he rolls here. So is this meaningful?
Depends on what he's drinking. Water. Okay. All right. and hit-
Any 6 and the crowd is going to come alive. Here we go.
4-2, 3.
Ready? Come on. 5-1.
Oh.
Oh.
You said
so
any
close.
6. We needed to be more specific.
Yeah, no, I needed to do 6-5? No. Okay. So now
I don't go for the
I don't go
backgammon.
for the backgammon now. I just make sure I win the
Yeah,
game.
but play to the ace.
so
Take it off and play to the ace.
And it's even, so...
he's even anyway, so you're not
Yeah,
gaining.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you only gain when he stays on the bar because next time you only take 1 off. But I think this is right. Yeah. 5-3. This is going to be a gammon, and we are going to go to double match point. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 crossovers required by white, 8 by black. So he needed to roll 4 sets, so this is not going to happen. 1, 2. This is it. Okay.
Notice how Frank is still rolling on.
Yeah, that's good. You've got to take crossovers just to make yourself feel better.
Well,
That is not right because he took 1 crossover with the
Well,
last
they
checker
were
instead
both-
of 2.
Bonet made him roll out last game. You know.
Right.
It's a good
Actually,
point.
he can still save
You
it.
can still say
Save
it.
it.
Yeah.
2 sets starting now.
That's
No,
it.
that's it.
That's it.
So we reach double match, pure double match point where gammons don't count. The cube's not in play.
You know what? And my heart can't take this excitement. I'm going to bring Eric McAlpine back in for me. Phil Simborg saying goodbye, and thanks to my co-hosts here. They were great. This has been fun.
Thanks,
we may
Phil.
be- We may be seeing you in a little while.
Yeah,
but-
you may not have finished, Phil, depending on the result of the
no,
next game.
This game, this is over.
Yeah, okay.
I'm betting on Bonet.
Okay, so one of the things you can do at
Double-
double match point, if you're losing the position, you can turn this into a mega back game, right? So it happens quite often at double match point. One player gets a very bad position, and you wouldn't take the risk of steering for a really complicated back game, but it doesn't hurt you at double match point. This is developed in a fairly traditional manner so far. He's going to hit with this 6-1.
What a big DMP this is. I
It
mean,
is
we've
huge.
got
How much money is on this one? Quite a lot of money.
one game to be champion.
I think the winner here takes home, presumably they've done some hedging, but
69,000.
69,000
No,
euros.
see, I was in this round last year. You can't hedge here because he's got a free game.
Yeah.
So Bonet, if he wins, then it's over. No, then it's over. So if he loses, then yes, absolutely, and especially if he loses, he's going to want to hedge. But right now, he's just hoping, hey, this is 34,000 euros. This game is
But I heard
34,000.
you gave Travi all the money just for the trophy.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
So, now 4-2 to play here. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
reasonable.
Yeah. I think he has to take the anchor. He gives himself a two-way plan.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Now black has the advantage. He's going to hit and run away. Okay, so he'd like a second anchor. So the variation where he creates a complex back game is an option. Not yet. The 3-6 is not great. I would keep that checker there, yeah, and come down. Because ideally, he won't have the timing yet for the 3-4 back game. But
Phil, you should get a little closer to the mic. If there's anyone who plays way too many back games, Phil Simborg is.
I won a 15 checker back game today.
okay.
Does he have enough time? Does White have enough time? To
Not
play
yet,
this back game?
no. Not yet.
No, he needs more time.
But black this is a slightly awkward 6-4 roll. He's probably going to make the 2 point unless anybody can see something I can't see.
Looks best here.
He needs to be down about 100 pips. He's not close.
Yeah.
He's thinking, is he?
So the rule of thumb is you need to be down in the back game the number of pips that your 2 back game points occupy. So if he owns the 3 point and the 4 point, that's 42 plus 44. He needs to be down 86 pips. That's the guide. And he's nowhere near that at the moment. So he played a slightly odd move there, but so here's the back game established.
All right.
Now he wants black to roll big numbers here. 6-4, that's fairly big. It's ugly as well.
That's fairly ugly.
I like white here.
Simborg has taken white. Yeah,
I do.
yeah. Do you give homes to lots of homeless dogs?
Slot the bar and make the 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I would do that.
You can't afford, I think, to put the second checker to the 2 point. You can't kill a checker here. Double match point, it's really crucial. You keep all the checkers in play as long as possible. So you want to, yeah, so this is right. This must be right.
Nice play.
So for Frank and for the crowds wanting the second match, we're looking at a double 3 here.
Double 4 plays 2.
Okay, thanks for. Oh, 4-6.
Yeah, it's your double 4s is your call.
Yeah, yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, yeah. So I think you're going to hit here because you've got the option of going back into a back game. You're going to hit and make the bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so 5s are good, 1s, 3s and 6s are good, but it depends how he rolls them. 5-1. So the 5 is 5.
Hit 2.
He's going to hit 2.
Such a cold you have there.
Yeah. I think he's going to hit on the bar point because the bar point is something he wants to have later, even if it doesn't end up being a sort of mini blitz. Can't be a full blitz because Frank owns the 4 point. Double 4. It was time.
Wow.
3 and hit again.
Oh my gosh.
Can I take a patent on double 4s?
Oh yes.
No.
Was it definite?
Oh, boxes! Wow.
Bad time.
Love to be in the cinema at the moment. Should be fun down there.
69.
Double 3.
Wow.
Oh, this has gone quite well. What do you think?
$69,000 dance.
Okay, I'm playing pure here.
Man.
Make another inner board
I
point.
think it's
For which
crucial.
one? I like
I'd make-
making the 3 more than the 4.
I make the 4.
made
I
the
do this
four.
pure.
Four.
I
Keep
make
them
I
in
make
order.
the 4 as well.
Keep them in order.
Alright.
Okay.
So then making the 3.
Commentators bet again.
So,
2. I like this so far, but I'm making the 4 point.
3 points?
Making the 3.
Okay.
Frank's making the 3.
What do we do here?
3
point.
point. Thank you guys.
Carter has won yet another bet. The man must be so rich.
I know.
That's why he wins international tournaments.
And then he came back with 1, yeah?
Yeah.
6-4. Can't move the checkers on the 4 point. So this, he'll make the 8 point.
Alright.
Yeah. So now he has a broken prime. So now what he has to do is just fill in that little gap on the 4 point, and we're going to have another match. And that is not a good roll. 1-5. I think this is too big to slot. He slots. Keeping the checkers in. Oh, yeah, I need to think about that because you need to keep the checkers in play. So this may well be right. 6-4 again. It's getting a little tedious. It's going to come off the bar. You can't put a checker beyond the 4 point here. Right. So this is 4. There's a choice of 6s. This is.
Wouldn't you duplicate the ace that he needs to make the 5 point?
Yeah.
Do it.
I would.
Wouldn't make 2-6 relieve it.
It's not a real big error though.
3-2.
It also hits and covers.
2. Trouble is that making the 5-point releases all those checkers on the 4-point if he
You
comes
come up
in.
here?
Yeah, I think so.
This is a really difficult play,
Mick
I
comes
think.
up.
I
Mick comes up.
Yeah.
He's not the prime.
You're playing against an opponent with a broken prime. 3s don't grow on trees here.
Yeah, but you've got ones and trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got come
Not far.
Yeah, it's a very close play according to our friend.
How's their time?
Don't say silly friend again.
I won't. I deliberately stop myself saying.
He's getting short on time now.
Yeah. Who's time?
Watch Bonnet's time.
Oh, a minute 30.
Oh yeah, thanks,
This will
Phil.
be the last
This
game.
will be enough.
So Bonnet is down to 1 minute and 23 seconds. Frank still has 6 minutes left on the clock.
And
He's
made
played the
one.
marginally inferior play. It was a close call.
Here's the double 4.
Just 1-4 this time.
Wow.
That was enough.
It would have hit anyway, wouldn't it? So,
Oh, good hit for the
but,
crowds.
yeah, good hit for the crowds. Oh,
the
is that
double
cocked?
4.
It isn't cocked.
You would have anchored up.
Yeah. This isn't that
Ooh.
beautiful.
Oh, this is ugly. This is ugly. He's gonna have to
Say
Yeah,
that.
hit
come
on
in
this,
from
yeah.
the 2 from the 10-point.
Hit on
Oh,
it.
sorry, I didn't see the.
There it
I
is.
missed the checker on the
Yeah,
midpoint
the
again.
black checkers,
Sorry,
the
guys.
Blue, you lose them.
Yeah. We're going to redesign the board for next year.
Get different
1-5.
colored
Okay, he's going to cross the 5, I think. I don't see anything more sensible. Yeah. Okay, so
It's a boxing mix. They're
Yeah,
boxing,
yeah, but he needs-
leaving.
okay, so now 2-1. So the 2 is clear. Think about the 1. He's got the choice of making his opponent's 2-point, which he looks as if he's going to do. Okay,
Jim
he
Pascoe
could have
and I-
played 6 to
Jim
5.
Pascoe and I hit off the ace there.
Yeah, that's another option.
I think
He's
it was
got.
right.
Oh,
So cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it was right.
yeah, yeah.
Super shot.
Yeah, nice play. 4-3. This looks like we're in for a long evening
There's the fan, and now
now.
this.
So again, he doesn't need to win a gammon. So he needs. Oh, apparently he's going to hit anyway.
Apparently he wants to.
1-2. 3 coming out, and 1 for luck. He doesn't care about being hit by double 2. I'd cross it. 1.
Who was it that said they liked white here? Who was that?
Yeah, some American guy seemed to want white earlier. It's never over till the fat lady sings though. 2-6.
Hey.
So you'd like to make the 8-point as a precaution here. That's not an 8-point. Yeah. Oh, what?
2-6 from the bar.
2-6 from the bar. Famous roll. 1-3.
So white's obviously a very big favorite here, right?
White is a big favourite, and he's rolled a 4.
I think
he's going to make the 8.
out.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think you've got to move while he's on the bar
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you got 3
Yeah.
points in front
But
of
why don't you give him the
Right.
best double 2 in history?
Yeah, but it's
It's a pretty dang good double 2 anyway.
it is. But if he makes it,
So again, how long has he got? It's Frank. He's got plenty of time.
yeah, he's got over 5 minutes left.
What do you give if you come out? You give 2-1, 2-2, 2-6. This way, it's nice for this roll, but if he rolls a combination of 1, 2s and 6s next time, 2-2! Ah,
Wow.
what a game this is!
That would have been a hot crimson death, huh?
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would have been
Yeah.
a wipeout.
That could have been a low-flying dice cup,
Good grief.
which I have seen in my backgammon career.
That's the best mistake he ever made.
Oh, double 3, no swing on the play, right?
Wow.
Go to the ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
a
now-
huge
now,
mistake.
Aurelien needs a 5. He'll slot 2 points here.
Yeah.
4-3. How was the double 2? Was it? Oh, the 4-2. 4-2 should have come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a big error,
Yeah,
but
we
it
all,
was
we all
And then
did.
those double 2s would have
Oh
been.
my God.
double 1.
That's the first
I
time
would-
we would have all
I-
been wrong.
Double 1, I come all the way with the 2 back checkers.
Yes,
make
definitely.
Make 6 is bad for black. He wants his bad numbers to be the highest possible here, so he
Isn't it
crunches
bad
the
to have
board.
a gap on the 7 though, Chris?
Nah,
No?
I'm more concerned. Nah.
No?
I want him to crunch his board. I want him to roll boxes here.
By the way, he's using one of my favorite tricks. When you've got lots of time on the clock and the other guy doesn't, I always go much slower, hoping the other guy will slow down too.
Yeah, you're a courteous player, I have to say. Double
Wow.
six. So, how much am I being paid for this commentary?
Wow.
Wow, what a difference the play makes.
Yeah.
My
It's
goodness.
important to have that gap on the 7-point.
Okay, so he's got to leave 5-4 or 5-2 here as a potential shot dealing number, neither of which obviously wins immediately.
Yeah, 5-4. You're not that thrilled. about
Yeah,
it.
you've duplicated the. If he hits and then hits back,
Five
you
is good,
duplicated the 3. This is
Any
a good
5 is
play.
good.
Yeah, he's going to hit with any 1, 4, or 7. Double 5.
10.
1.
It's a shot.
It's a shot.
No, it isn't. He clears the
Oh, no, it's not,
clears
yeah.
the 2 points.
You can go to the ace.
Yeah, you
He's
can
not
do
going to leave a shot, so he's going to find 10 to 1, 8 to 3 any minute now. To quote Kent Goulding, a brilliant play. Oh, double 5.
Wow.
1.
That
Do you,
keeps his board.
are you leaving it out there?
Keeps his board. That's great.
So
Uh,
this is this,
One.
You can't hold
5.
it.
you can't hold it. But
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
1, 5, 1. Yeah, it's me.
Okay, so 6-1, 6-5 are bad. What else have we got here? Harbinger of Doom, obviously.
All ones are bad, right?
All right. So he would like black to crash. He'd like him to roll a big set. Key 3-1 or Q3-1. Right.
There it is.
This is getting scary.
And
3-1. He's got to clear the 6 points.
Ones are bad.
yeah,
Wow.
Anything else leaves a hole in the middle of the board as well. So it's not. He's not going to do that.
he's looking.
He's not going to come off.
Nothing else.
If he comes off the 4 point, that would be horrendous.
Yeah.
Coming off the 5. Ooh.
What in God's name?
No, he's not going to do this.
He's looking, but I'm sure he's not.
This
gonna
can't
leave
be
it there.
right.
No.
You want
sure
the checkers
he'll
in,
change.
remember this is double match point, you want the checkers in play. Put them in front of the guy.
Yes,
You
but
wanna
you're
clear from
fine,
the
you
top.
can-
It's
you
very
can
simple.
make
You
a
gotta
show us.
Clear the points from the top.
Or as they said in the rear, was it clear from the rear and don't ask questions?
Yeah. Also, he's just got
what-
no play the other
I
way.
really like what he's doing.
Yeah. Do you think he's just slowing him down and yeah.
He has plenty of time.
No, he's down, he's under 4 minutes himself
He
now.
really-
You're
really
really not going to
enjoys
find
the
this play,
moment.
Frank. Please tell
Rub
me.
it in. You've got more time than the other guy. Rub it in. Step on his air hose.
He loves
Kenny
this,
Farm.
I mean, just from the
Can
way.
I just mention that this gives him gives Black a very bad double 4.
And 6-4.
No, but he only has one checker to
Yeah.
play with the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
move. So just looking at it, it can't be the right play. He's got 2 spares he can move now versus 1 with the other player and no hole to fall into.
Thanks, guys, for making it exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
He keeps going back to this, and
There's
it's
no
got
logic
some
to
really
this.
bad numbers.
Even 6-4 for Black plays
4-3
okay. It's only
plays
double
horribly.
4 that's horrendous.
There's no good logic for that.
Here we go, go on.
Very
Pick up the dice.
Yeah.
Yes, I call
Quick.
it.
Well
There
done.
we go.
Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done, Frank.
All right.
Okay, now you want him, there's no cracking numbers. 6-5.
Alright,
He
but
will
you
look
know
at coming out with a 5 to give him some bad 6s.
You mean
but I
6-3
think
or 6-1?
Yeah. Or maybe the other ones. It's so good having Carter here, yeah? It's a little treat for everybody. 6-5. Oh no.
Wow.
So now Aurelien Bonnet has a 6 to win
Yeah.
Biggest
the
six.
How big
Cyprus
is this
Backgammon
roll?
Champions.
Six.
No!
32,000.
What a
Wow.
huge.
32,000 euro 6.
Never a
Yeah.
doubt. Never
Wow.
a doubt.
If you want a 6, you got to really shake hard and take a long time, and he really got that
He
wrong.
didn't shake enough. You're right.
He didn't
Yeah.
shake it like he believed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's got 40 seconds.
So if we want excitement for the crowds, I'm afraid we're going to have to ask for a double 6 from Frank.
Absolutely.
He's down to 32 seconds.
Double 3
No,
would
double
be.
3 plays.
Oh, good number, 2-1.
Just enough.
Oh.
Now here's the 6. Here's the 6. Yeah, there it is.
Hey.
Right. Okay.
What did he roll?
Double 3, 6-5.
The first one, the Frank.
2-1.
2-1.
2-1-6-5.
6-5. 2 off.
6-5 again.
4 bad numbers next
Now
time.
3 is the magic number.
4, and I think he'll slide the 3 along, hoping to make the bar and the scenario. Yeah. So now 5-3, 6-3 for the crowds. What do we think? Nah, he's not going to do it.
Ooh.
Whoa! 3-2.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, he's
Running out of time.
One last
well,
time.
he's got to stay.
Got to
He
stay.
can't win the other way.
Stay is automatic.
Okay,
All
so
right.
one last chance.
Maybe two.
This is the roll.
Here we go. There
Here
we
we
go.
Needs a 3.
6-2.
Oh.
Okay, now only 5 or 6, and we're going for a long coffee break. Who's buying?
Double five.
Double five.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Technically still possible,
Yeah.
as we saw in
We're
the
off in the gap.
last
How
game.
long's the break for the next match?
Double. Oh, he's got 6 there. 2-1. Okay, come on. Roll a set. Give the crowd something. Oh, 4-3. Okay.
Do we know when the next match will be?
It'll be in
So
about
we can tell
20 minutes or something.
3-2. 2 off. Okay.
Never have.
They'll start right away. 'cause they're
6-3.
so good.
Okay, so if he rolls a 2, it gets a little more interesting. There's the 2. Excellent. Okay, now a couple of saves. 6-4.
6-4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's got 9 checkers left.
Yeah.
He needs 2 sets starting next
Great
roll.
match. Great
3-2.
match. Great match.
Okay, so now if he doesn't roll a set, is that it? No, he's still got the chance. He's still got 2 sets. So now he's down. Last chance, saloon. Okay, so if he doesn't roll a set
Choose
this
your
time, double
over.
one's like 3-2. It's over.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
It's over.
So first match to
Great
Franck Stepler. Aurelien Bonnet had a 6 for the match. Couldn't find it. Rolled too quickly, in my opinion. Just didn't shake the dice hard enough. So
was it
we
that
will
said
be
they
back.
liked- Who liked white in that game? Who
Oh,
was that?
And now this is when the hedge talks.
yeah. Okay. So now they'll go and talk about money. They'll have a cigarette break, a drink break. We will find out as soon as we can when the next match will start. Thank you very much for listening, and we're on a break.